Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Episode 492 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nothing. My name is Tanner.
And my name is Tommy.
We got a special one broadcasted this week from the corners of the Dakotas. That's not why it's special. We do that every single week. This is special because this is a Q&A episode. We've got questions that have come in all day long from a whole bunch of you. We have more questions than we're ever possibly going to get to on this episode, but we will get through as many as possible. And Tommy, I know that you probably haven't seen any of these. There are some doozies in here.
All right.
So strap in as I begin to tell you about Texas power bars. When Buddy Caps began lifting weights with Olympic bars in the 1960s, he quickly noticed the problems with the equipment. The knurling was so light and crappy that even when the bars were brand new, there was hardly any grip whatsoever. And after years and years and years of use, they became almost slick to the touch. They were greasy, you could almost say, to the touch. The sleeves were made from 3 pieces, held together with some baler twine and God knows what else, and maybe a threaded end cap and a set screw, a design that often came loose and wore out over time. For lifters who were pushing themselves, this made training harder than it needed to be. Buddy wasn't just a lifter. He was also a Texas state powerlifting champion and a skilled metal worker who ran Caps Welding in Irving, Texas. He knew bars could be built better with stronger steel, better design, and a grip that would last. That belief became the starting point of what would one day become the Texas Power Bar. That brings us to today. Head over to TexasPowerBars.com. Grab yourself a power bar, deadlift bar, squat bar, all-American bar. They got finishes like black, zinc, bare steel, chrome sleeve, Cerakote, you name it. The best bars in the business. We trust them. You should too. TexasPowerBars.com.
This episode is also brought to you by Juggernaut AI. Juggernaut AI is a world-class coach in your pocket. Juggernaut AI's mission is to provide coaches and athletes with principle-based coaching and educate them and help them reach their goals. I've been a Juggernaut AI user for about 3 or 4 years now, and I pay for, they sponsor the show, and I love the product so much I pay for it with my own money. That's how good it is. Tanner does too. Why do I keep on it after all these years? Because it keeps training fun, interesting, and I am progressing. And that's what you want out of training. Some fun, some variety, and some progression. And those things right there will keep you coming to the gym week after week, keeps training fun, fresh, and exciting. And man, it's just I have a really good time doing it. So if you would like to experience Juggernaut AI for yourself, make some gains, have some fun in the gym, maybe try some different lifting, some different programming, some different sets and reps, check out juggernautai.app. That is the website, juggernautai.app. While you're there, you can use code Massenomics and save 10% on the lifetime of your subscription. The key is to do that through the website. If you do it on your phone, if you sign up on your phone, you can't use a discount code. So Juggernaut, www.juggernautai.app. Get signed up today. Thank you, Juggernaut AI.
Thanks for everyone that signs up and uses discount code Massenomics. We do get a small kickback from that every month, and any of our affiliates for that matter. If you check out the affiliates tab on our website, we've now made that tab easier to get to. All the podcast sponsors are on there, as well as several other companies that make equipment, nutrition like MarcoFactor, training like Juggernaut, pretty much every kind of equipment you could think of from every company that's important in our eyes. You can find currently on our affiliate tab on our website. So go click on some, or Amazon even.
Yeah,
you buy stuff from Amazon.
Yeah,
I will get a little kickback from that stuff.
Tanner, our conversation regarding MarcoFactor really resonated with a lot of people because there was a lot of signups in the last month underneath the Massenomics name, like more than ever before. So
enough that I actually said someone at MacroFactor this month when they were going through, whether it was Jeff Nippard or I don't know
who else.
Yeah,
who else is there? Just Jeff.
Yeah. Someone had to have said, "What's with this Massenomics code getting used so much?"
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
But we're being truthful and honest. Like I've been using the app for a year, and I had a lot of success with it. I've really enjoyed it. Tanner hopped on it. And had
I was just going to say,
feedback.
Today's day 30 of never missing a day. I haven't not logged. Let me say this as disgusting a way as possible. I have not logged a single thing that's gone in my mouth for the last 30 days.
So everything's been accounted for, huh?
Everything that's gone in this mouth has been recorded into the MacroFactor app.
Would you say
they're discussed probably?
Okay, so you are a month in at this point, which is a pretty good sample size. I mean, would you say at this point the actual usage of the app is a pretty small part of your daily routine?
Yes. I mean,
do you spend,
especially as people know the way I eat,
that's what I'm saying. And you've become a little more familiar with the app. I mean, does it take you maybe a couple minutes a day in the app, in the app?
Probably. It takes me, I spend more time than that in the app because I'm looking at stuff.
Yeah.
But as
because
far
as
I'm
the actual
enjoying
logging, which
right.
typically with tracking, I think logging is the most tedious part. That part to me is maybe the quickest, easiest part of the entire app.
Jake the Snake's comment, even a soggy Cheerio from a toddler's hand. I mentioned this before. What using the app has done to me is I do not.
You can't log it. You're not going to eat it.
I'm just like, no, I don't want to mess with putting this in. I'm not eating it. Like even literally, that's a great example. Like a little bite of my kids, the last bite of their Pop-Tart or granola bar. I'm like, I don't want to put in 1/10 of a Pop-Tart. I'm not eating it. It's just easier not to eat it.
I know the feeling. Today, we left Costco. My boy wanted a hot dog. He ate about 3/4 of it. I'm like, I could finish this, but it's annoying to put in like 1/4 of a Costco hot dog and a bun. So I'm like, nope, just won't do it.
Yep. So I really like it. It's good. My calorie trajectory has come down a little bit as it's more level setted. I mean, I'm still at about 4,000, but instead of slightly above 4,000, I'm slightly below 4,000. I think my target now is 3,983. Yep. And I was like about 4,100 at the start.
It's still
come
not
down
that
about
much of a change though.
No, in like 3 or 4 check-ins, it's just cumulatively come down just a little bit. As my expenditure, as it's like really figuring out probably what my daily expenditure
that just
really
shows
is.
that, I mean, that's a difference of about 5%. I think you said it's about 200 calories. It's come down so far.
Little less than a little, maybe just over 100.
So not even 5%. It's like, so its actual initial guess on you was
pretty
about
accurate.
a couple percent of where it thinks you should be, which is also kind of surprising that it can be that right off the
if
bat.
we're assuming it's got it right by now, but it probably does. I've been weighing myself way more often than I used to also. And it is crazy how consistent that can
is
be for me.
For you too.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like actually there was like one we don't need to talk the whole episode about MacroFactor. We'll save some of that for another episode. I said too much.
Okay.
But use discount code MacroFactor if you're
gonna. Yeah, I just tried. Okay. There is one other piece of follow-up though that we got to get to, Tanner, and I'm dying to know. We talked about Pelotons last week. There's a lot of discussion about it on the Discord this week. Some good, some bad. Some Peloton people were coming out of the woodwork that we never knew existed all these years. What's your Peloton status?
Yeah. So we talked. You had me very intrigued when we talked last week. If you were listening, like, I think we're always engaged with each other on whatever each of us have going on, especially in the podcast. We're not just sitting here going like, you're not telling me something interesting and I'm not over
like
here
staring off like, is he done yet?
But but I was asking questions because you were getting me my own gears turning a lot where I was like, I'm really interested in that. I want answers here because that is a really interesting idea. And it's just like what you said where you had never even paid a second thought to it
Never.
until watching Brandon's most recent video. I have to say, even with having seen some of his content in the past, I'd still never paid a second thought to it.
It's like I went brain dead when that thing appeared.
Yeah.
Like, it's like coming, like my brain just like came to after it was done. Like, oh, what happened? Where am I?
Yeah. And it wasn't until you said a couple of the right things that all of a sudden I was like, wait a second. Yeah, that makes some sense to me. You know, like some of these things are piecing together. So we recorded last week on probably Tuesday, I'm guessing.
Tuesday night, yeah.
Yeah, by Friday I had a Peloton. So that's how that.
And I mean, just one just popped up in the backyard, so it was too hard. Too hard to deny.
I was watching a couple in Sioux Falls and one in Watertown, and I'm like, I could make either of these work. I got to, we're doing some Massenomics stuff down there real soon. I could figure this out. And then one popped up for the right price right in Western Northeast South Dakota. Actually, it was way overpriced. And I was about ready to lowball the guy, and not lowball, actually just offer him what
market value
is fair. And then that night, of course, when you're doing stuff like this, you're checking all the time. So I recheck it and I'm like, he dropped the price by $350. He's actually right on the money, a little bit cheaper than these other ones. And I can just drive over to his house and grab it tomorrow. So we made the deal, bought it, got toe cage pedals for it. It actually had toe cage pedals on it already. I bought different toe cage pedals because I didn't realize I was going to have those. So I've tried both, and I actually like the ones I bought better, and they're only $30. So
nice. Yep.
I'm like, okay, I'm keeping these ones. And I really thought that the toe cage would be a problem, like that. I'm like, I need the shoes, and I'm like, this is probably.
You feel like you're locked in with them?
And the one I have now are two-sided, so I could still get the shoes and not have to change the pedals. But I'm like, honestly, the toe cage is pretty good for me. And I don't know, performance-wise, I beating the shit out of most of the people online that are doing it. So I'm like, I don't know if that's any indicator. I don't know what that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But
and for people that don't know, like Tanner and I have kind of talked about a little bit about this. You were sending me some messages like, hey, I'm looking at this Peloton. Like, does this seem to check out with what you know? And then like I was on vacation, and then one day I just get a screenshot and you're like, I might live on this thing. And it was like 9 workouts in. I'm like, wait a minute. What's going on here?
So I've been doing like 3 a day. Not that long ones. I don't know if we talk now that I understand it more. I don't know how long ones you do, but I have been selecting. I either like 15 or 20-minute rides on there.
If I'm going to hop on the bike for an actual workout, I've been doing 20-minute is what I've been doing.
Okay. I didn't know if you were going to say you do 30 or 45 or something like that. And I
think at some point maybe I would, but right now
it'd be fun to do that.
You
just need to dedicate more time to it at that point. I have tried several different forms of the rides. I've done climb rides. I've done Tabatas. I've done,
there's like some hill ones they have in there. They say hills. Yeah.
And then I do get caught up watching how I'm ranking compared to everyone all time that's done those classes.
Though, isn't it? Isn't that the thing? Is looking at that number?
That's the thing. The other thing is, because like we have a spin bike at the gym, I would never use the stupid thing.
Right.
I just wouldn't. I still wouldn't. There's no way. I'm like, I'm not going to get on and like, there's no way I can make myself do something on that's of any significance. But following the class where they're constantly telling you the resistance and the cadence.
Right. They're kind of doing the programming for you, essentially.
Right. They're doing the programming, which it's something I completely want nothing of for that. And I do enjoy it.
And they keep it just fun enough too, right?
Yes, it is fun enough. And I have found a couple of instructors and I'm like, okay, this person's kind of funny to me a little bit. And I do like every time, like I like the chase of a good class that has a soundtrack I like. I'll click on them being like, what's the soundtrack?
Yeah, because you can see that in there. So you know what you're in store for. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do like it. It is kind of silly, the whole concept, especially from Massenomics, but I like for like a little bit of cardio, I think it's pretty sweet. I'm not going to do it 3 times a day forever, but I'm really like, I'm going to really give myself like a real
test on it and see.
To just see what I really think about this. I also I've tried this too. It's kind of fun. You can go to entertainment and you can put on like YouTube or Netflix or whatever, but then you don't have to just ride. You put on YouTube and then you still select, a type of class, and while you're watching YouTube, it's still got the cadence. And
I didn't realize that.
You're just not. You just don't have an instructor talking to you.
Okay, so it's still
you don't have an
some
instructor music
in there.
Yeah, so it still can have you.
See,
so
I just assumed it was just all Netflix on the screen.
No.
And that was, okay, I didn't get that.
No, so it's actually a really cool feature because I do that like at night when I'm just when I'm winding down, and I'll do like a restorative ride, which is just essentially an easier ride, and I'll be like, I popped on. I wanted to watch the Dr. Mike and Thor video that they had, and I'm like, this is 25 minutes. I'm going to do a 25-minute ride and watch this, and it's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Okay. So that
the thing is freaking heavy.
Isn't it though? Like
you
the
probably told me
solid.
that, and I didn't understand. And I was like, holy crap.
Yeah.
Like I had to carry it in the house up the stairs by myself, and like carrying a Peloton.
It's not easy. It's so unwieldy. Like it's just awkward enough that it is a challenge to move.
Yeah.
Luckily I didn't have to carry mine up any stairs, but it would be a challenge to do that.
Having got it, set it up, use it, all that stuff's really cool. It's really fun. I suppose I like it. It calls to me because I don't know if this is apparent on the podcast, but I have like a competitive nature, so that I'm like, okay, yeah, like I don't want to just do cardio, but if you're going to put other people in front of me,
that's what I think makes it fun.
Like, okay.
Right. I really do. Like that's to me the thing that does it is, and even there, like today, so I was, I got to use it like 3 times. Then I was on vacation for a week.
Yep.
And so today was the first day I could get back to it. And I never noticed this, but even when you're going, it's like, your PR for a 20-minute ride is this amount. And then it's like showing if you're keeping on pace, where normally I would have been going a little slower. I'm like, well, I can't let my PR from a week ago just like, I got to keep pace with that thing. And there was a few times I was falling behind. So then I make it up. And then at the end, I'm like 10 seconds. I'm like 1 off and I'm like full on sprinting. I'm like, got the PR by 1. Okay, here we go.
I do like how it shows you actively your PR for that. And it's a PR because I've done several different times. So it keeps a PR for every duration of,
okay.
Yeah, it keeps your 15-minute PR, a 20-minute PR, a 25, any of those. I think for me, I'll for sure go in phases of it, like I do with any of the cardio stuff, where I use it more and use it less and stuff. The really only downside of the whole thing to me is the subscription cost. And I know we talked about it, and you even said the same thing after getting yours. And I'm just like, it's pretty expensive for most people.
Like there's just not a lot of subscription services that are $40 a month. Like that's the thing. Like it is pretty much the most expensive subscription that's out there.
Okay, and Jake mentioned it. What we have noticed, there are several crew members that have come out that they do have Pelotons. Paul brought it up. I think mostly Squat Video Matt. There's been several other here. So I do think be on the lookout for anyone that's a Peloton owner. We are going to have to we'll schedule it, at least a week in advance. So anyone that wants to can prepare, but we're going to do a virtual Massenomics Peloton ride. Yeah.
Massenomics Peloton ride. It's just so funny to even think about that. It'd be that'd be good. Yeah.
We will get that lined up at some point in time. Maybe we'll make it like a quarterly thing or something like that we can
just people going all out for 20 minutes.
And I don't know I don't know how the communication works
I don't
when
either.
you do that sort of thing,
but
we'll
figure
it out
on the phone or what, but we'll figure that out at some point.
Maybe we can all watch 1979 World's Strongest Man together. Like it starts the same time for everyone. And
with a class going on in the background. Yeah. We got to toughen it up a little bit.
Yes. One more thing before we get in the Q&A, and then we'll probably have to come back to touch some other things. But you just got back from a big trip.
I did.
It wasn't just on your Peloton.
No, maybe we should save it for the end because I could probably just go on too long. But maybe we'll save that for more at the end. We can.
Well, and we have several other topics here, so maybe we'll just have to save a bunch of stuff for the next episode.
A couple of these topics are actually related to the trip, so I can knock a few of those out at one time. But
okay, we'll get to a couple of these things. Yeah, we'll get to a couple of those things as we get to them through questions. Because there are some things that I definitely don't want to give a crew gift update, a horse stall mat, gripper update, and some of those things, but we'll get to them via questions probably, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys submitted questions on our Instagram story. We're going to get through as many as possible here. Some will be probably pretty quick answers. Some will be pretty long answers. We have not done a Q&A episode like this for a while, so it should be fun. Question
Do you
one.
do you have some music to bring us in on this? Okay.
Of course.
I'm
Our
also
Q&A.
need to wet my whistle before we get going here.
What are you drinking over there?
That is a Kirkland Signature grapefruit sparkling water.
That's what I thought I heard. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm a bit of a rambling man myself.
I know you are.
I'm
Still
rambling on
jealous every time I see it.
down with a lemon lime rambler. If you weren't jealous before, you sure are now.
Just the finest things in life over there.
Oh my God.
It's gotten even better.
Mother of God. All right. Question one from Waffle Iron Jim, just taking these in order that they're written down here. When are you buying the Hammer Strength H Squat? Legosaurus.
Like, if one popped up in South Dakota, you'd probably get it, wouldn't you?
They cost many thousands of, they might cost like $8,000. Like, that's how much
is that really an excuse?
People won't even price them.
Is that really an excuse?
That being said, I'd be really figuring out how I make it happen.
Let's say one popped up in Sioux Falls out of nowhere.
And what's the price? Let's say the price
because it's Sioux Falls. Let's say the price is $10,000.
I don't think I could spend $10,000.
Really? Oh, you could bring yourself to do it on that one?
I don't think so. That is a lot of money.
That
if it was $5,000, I would probably figure out a way to buy it.
I think $5,000 you have to, just purely as an investment. You could buy that, have it for a year, and be like, yeah, this is taking up too much space in the gym. Probably sell it for 10.
Brandon says it does more than one thing, right? Right?
Yeah, you can climb on it and lay on it.
Well, Big Nate Verde called me out. Didn't I just get $100,000 worth of gym equipment for free? That is true. So I guess
there you go.
Playing with house money.
You are.
Gary wants to know how we'd get it down the stairs. Well, hopefully it comes in a lot of pieces.
That's like the least of the worries, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Next one is from Big Curd. He says, with all the buzz around horse stall mat grippers, what are your two's favorite other tests of grip strength? I didn't know there was any other ones. There's others?
Yeah. Wow. I'll have to think about that. Okay. So with all this being said, I'm not a huge grip guy, so I'm definitely not the best person to ask here, but I will say, I actually do like the, the dynamometer, what's that thing called?
That's close enough to me. Don't make me
I
say
like
it again.
that because it gives you can't fail at it. Like, everyone gets a number, and it does that number thing, and everyone can kind of relate to, if just the average person grabs it and let's say they get 100 and you're like, oh, I know a guy that did 160, and they're like, what? It instantly gives people that feeling of like, how? So I do think that is a really fun tool for people. It gives them that instant feedback. I think that's a good one. I do like the blobs from a classic sense. Like, I think they're really cool in that way.
Yeah.
But the thing with the blobs is, I don't know. Like, yes, grip is a part of it, but also having big hands is an enormous part of that one too.
Yes. That's the case for like 50% of at least of the grip.
Yeah. I don't like the crushers. I mean, I like the crushers, but if you're saying top two, the crushers wouldn't be, or grip, like those wouldn't be in my top two.
Gary called you out. You like the blobs for the history.
Well, they look cool though. They do. Like, they do look cool.
But historically,
that actually is a bad reason to say it, but they do look cool. I think the big piece is just this big blob, and like you can pick it up, and then the next person literally can't, rock it at all.
Right.
Like, so I think, and it seems so unassuming. You're like, well, yeah, it's just like a little rock,
Right.
That's what I think is cool about those. What am I missing? What else would be a good? Like, I'm not gonna say a hang. Like, a hang of any kind isn't a. Yeah, and like the Rolling Thunder, someone said that. Like, that one's not. I mean, it's cool, but that one's again not show. I don't know. I guess I'll go. What did I say first before blobs? Oh, dynamometer and blobs. I'll say those two.
I think
those two.
Yeah, Yeah, that's always been fun. That's been fun in our experience. I was thinking as you were talking, and my spin on it is I know what I like. The first part's gonna sound as a joke, but then I'll give you my explanation as to why. So what I like as a test of grip strength is a 10 rep max
Okay,
double overhand Texas power bar deadlift.
I knew that was coming the second you said it's a joke, and I thought, yeah.
That's the part that would sound as a joke. But what I actually like about that, what I like about grip events are ones that also
Our strength.
they're not, yes, where you also just, it's a combination of grip and strength.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like total body strength. Not that grip isn't strength, but it's a combination of other attributes of your strength.
Yeah.
So
It's like a squat is a leg exercise, but it's also a total body effort. You know, it's not
Right.
a leg press where you just
right. So that's like, and I feel like the double overhand,
I like that
10
one.
rep max.
I think that's a pretty good one, to be honest.
Because it's just like kind of a grueling challenge.
Mm-hmm.
1 or 10 rep. I like the 10 rep. The 10 rep is way more of an interesting challenge. 1 rep is, that's the thing with the grip stuff. So much of it, it's you get it or you don't. It's
There's
done
no
and over
endurance
so quick.
exercises.
Right. I like the 10 rep max double overhand Texas power bar deadlift is the greatest grip test. That
Very
separates the
underutilized testing tool.
wheat from the chaff. Yeah. Beyond that, the Golden PP Grip Gauntlet Challenge was the single greatest grip event ever held at one time. I think the Thomas Inch dumbbell looks cool.
That does.
There you go. But it's the 10 rep double overhand deadlift. I would accept a 1 rep double overhand deadlift, but I like it I think it's on a barbell, not an axle, is the more interesting test to me.
Well, yeah, because you're not testing your strength really at all.
No, you're testing how,
Yeah.
how big your hands are in part too, and your grip strength, but yeah, hand size is much more a factor, not your deadlift strength, because nobody can deadlift enough on an axle, the double overhand, for the strength to really matter that much. Okay. Next one. This is from the Stapler. If cost wasn't an issue, what's something you would sell under the Massenomics name?
Oh, okay. It's kind of an outside the box question here.
Yep.
If cost wasn't an issue, we could just do it. Well, I mean, I could just say something crazy that's expensive, but it's like, well, would that actually make sense for Massenomics? What makes sense for Massenomics is stuff in the fitness and strength training space. And so I don't know if cost was an issue, would you get more into like workout gear, equipment of some kind, like bigger stuff? Maybe, but I also don't really want to be in that space too bad either, though, So,
Yeah, right.
God, if cost wasn't, do you have anything good?
No, not really, because I don't think the cost of much of anything that we would
cost really
potentially
is an
sell is
issue
what's holding us back.
Yeah, there's not anything that's holding us back on cost right now, really. Yeah, I don't know on that one.
Maybe a Massenomics electric car.
Yeah, that's what we're missing. It's an electric car.
I don't have a good answer on that one. Pass. I'm going to pass whenever I can't think of something good. Okay, next one, Brandon Doyle. If everyone stays healthy, will Tommy and Tanner be competing at the Lift Hard, Live Easy 4?
Pass. No.
Every one we're going to say pass.
Ooh, this show we got done with quick. I don't know. Possibly. It's hard to say right now. It's a long ways out, but it would be fun too.
Yeah. I presumably probably will. I would say there's a greater than 50% chance that I would.
Mm-hmm. If you can just get off that Peloton to compete.
Good luck. You're going to drag my dead cold body off that thing. My legs will still be spinning.
Defeat, they're going to wheel Tanner out on the Peloton. Everyone's going to watch him do a 30-minute ride.
I'm gonna announce the meet from the Peloton between the
He
platforms.
just won't get off it the whole time. He's sitting up there just spinning.
Fit Matt, Fat Matt. What has been the fastest someone has reached the Hall of Fame status? I do not know the official answer to that. What some people, like the second it came out, they were already there.
So, yeah, that's the tricky part of it. There was we released it in mind. Like we were doing the calculations in our head of like, yeah, we know there's going to be some people that have 10 check marks the second this product exists. But what was it? The fastest someone reached the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I mean, so some people were in the Hall of Fame, I think, the day it came out, weren't they?
Right, right. So if we exclude that from counting, like Jake says 8 months from the point of becoming a supporting member, he made the Hall of Fame. And Garrett was a little bit after that, possibly. So I would say about 8 months, not counting the people that were in the Hall of Fame the second the program came out because they were already had done all the things. People that became supporting members and then started their journey 8 months, which is actually pretty crazy.
Yeah,
like
a little less than a little less than a year, but yeah, if though you let's say came to Massenomics in the last month, you had no history with Massenomics, it would be hard to get there. It would be hard to get there in less than a year. Because even Jake, if he says he's late to it, well, he still purchased many, he still had a few check marks, before he even did anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas, if you literally, last week was the first podcast you ever listened to, and you're like, you know what? I don't know what they're talking about, but I want in on this. Like, it's going to take you at least a year to get in the Hall of Fame. I would think
so, too.
Unless you're ready to do some traveling and spend some money.
Even then, it's going to be tough. You're going to have to listen to 400 episodes of the podcast. You're going to have to order 10 order online.
Travel
10
to Crew
different
Falls,
times.
travel to the Arnold, come to Aberdeen and compete in the meet.
You could do it.
You
though,
could, but that's what I'm saying. You'd have to do some traveling and spend some actual money to get there.
Yeah. Big Joey says, if you could pick one hype man for a big lift, dead or alive, real person or fictitious, anyone that you want to hype you up for one big lift, who would it be?
It's a tricky one because that one's starting to feel like it matters less and less to me as time goes on, Whereas before I would have been really jacked for a hype man, and I'm like, no, leave me alone. I can do it myself, one hype man. I mean, it's cliche, but it would be pretty freaking sweet for Arnold to be like, Arnold's there and we're doing this. I'm like, why is Arnold here? I mean, that would be cool. I don't know. That's not a very good answer, but what do you got?
Well, in that vein, I could say Ronnie Coleman.
Well, and that would be cool too.
There you go, Ronnie Coleman. I guess most practically speaking, I would just pick Mount Rossmore because he's kind of a good hype man.
The old go-to.
Experience. Yeah, I would just keep it local and don't fix it if it ain't broken. That's what I would say.
A few people saying CT Fletcher. He'd fit the bill pretty good too.
Keith asked Larry. No, I wouldn't pick Larry.
Larry's not much of a hype man.
No, Ross and Adam in the gym are hype men.
They are. Adam really likes to get going.
Yeah. Home Gym Harry. What side of the upright should the numbers go on?
Well, in what way does he mean here, though?
Not sure. I guess front or back or side or
left is he saying,
right?
Or when you're looking at the upright, is it on the left or right side of the upright? Like, is it aligned to the left of the upright or the right of the upright? Is that what he's saying? Or
maybe that's what he's saying. I thought he meant what face of the upright.
I mean, it seems
you're saying what side of the hole?
Yeah, to me, it feels like it should go on the front and back, not the side. If we're talking about that,
right?
But if he's saying,
so then you're saying to the left of the hole, or wait,
yeah, is he saying
outside or inside of hole?
Right, is he saying when you're looking at the upright, the hole, should the number be to the left or right of the hole? Is that what he's saying?
Maybe let's say that's what he's saying. So then what's your answer to that? But you can't say left or right because it depends on which upright you're looking at. Wouldn't you say outside or inside? Or because on one upright, is it going to be, are they both going to be on the left?
I don't know.
That would be weird.
I've never thought about that hard. How do they?
But the uprights are probably interchangeable, so they probably have to be like that, right?
Well, in this world, maybe we can pick. I'm just gonna see. I can actually see a picture of mine because I can't even picture how mine are now. That's the beauty of having your a home gym is that you almost never really move things around because it's just set and you don't gotta mess with it. So it looks like on mine, my holes are on the left side of the upright.
On both, they're on the left side.
Yes.
See, that's kind of odd to me.
No. Sorry. No, they're just When I'm looking at the front of this rack, they're on the left. And then when it's, oh, they only show this rack from one angle. So I just think they're on the, I would assume they're on the left, and then on the other side, they're on the right. I don't know.
But I mean, there's not like a left and a right upright, I don't think.
Well, but actually, it kind of is, because on the Bells of Steel one, they have a little BOS engraved, and technically you would put that facing out. So like this sort of is a correct way to put them. Yeah, I mean, you could technically do it however you want, but that is how I have it. Is that
right?
I believe that BOS, the BOS logo is only on the outsides. So if you put that on the outsides, that would then possibly make everything on the left, which it probably does actually.
I don't have a huge preference on the.
I think most are on the left, aren't they?
On the left and the left, everything you own in a box to the
It's
left.
got me very curious. On a Rogue rack, I want to see on the picture here what these ones look like. So here we have. Give me some zoom here. Come on. Yeah, and the Rogue ones are on the left too. Maybe everyone puts them on the left.
All right.
So,
well, I think in Europe they put them on the right.
Oh yeah, because they drive on the other side of the road, so they'd get
Right.
confused if it wasn't. Yep, that makes sense.
And then Australia they spin the other direction.
Yeah, they're just upside down. That's why that
Yeah.
ATX machine is so confusing. The numbers are on the wrong side.
That's right. Big Mad Cow says, now that Kevin is done with his deadlift research, can we have him look into how many is 4 reps?
He should. Where did I
Yes.
just see? Oh, I like this. The EliteFTS had a teaser for a podcast with Chris Duffin coming up. And in the description, it was, he's the first man to ever
4
squat and
reps.
deadlift 1,000 pounds for reps. And I'm like, yes, that's great, actually.
Classic use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea if he did 2 or 10, but it does say for reps. So
4 reps. Great. Well done. Perfect little sweetie. If you had to trade certified training facilities with anyone, who would it be and why?
With anyone, maybe I kind of want to limit this to certified training facilities we've been to.
Yeah, it's kind of almost the only way to be able to do it, hardly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess in other ones that you might know very well from things too.
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously the just all-star gyms are going to be on the list. Jose's like, I mean, come on.
Brandon.
Like, that's the same.
Yeah.
Jose, Brandon, like pretty damn tough to beat either one of those right there. Like,
Yeah.
most people seeing those gyms, actually seeing those in person, would just blow their mind because,
Yeah.
I mean, even when you see it on the internet, it's really cool, but actually being in there is just a whole another thing.
What about
It's-
Gym Home? Big Curd says Gym Home. Juji.
Well, Juji's in a certified training facility, though.
Oh, true. That's right.
Because that was
That's
the
right.
first thing that came to my mind.
That's
Because
it.
that
Yeah,
actually is
that's
the
right,
dream.
right.
When I
Right.
remember we were sitting there at one point, and I think I said to you, like, this is what it's all about. You just sit here
Yeah.
long enough, and eventually you're either doing
just start
competitions
lifting
or you're
more
lifting again.
Yeah.
And it's just, or
Right,
guys can be
right.
lifting while you're hanging out, and no one's in anyone's way. It's pretty tough to beat. That is an amazing gym.
Jose's is obviously an answer a lot of people could pick. I could also spin it, I would say when we're in Temecula, California in the evening and it's like 70 degrees
That's
in
another way to think
January,
about
I'm
it.
like, well, I could trade for Andrew Garrison's if you get the,
yeah.
the,
This is kind of just what you get all year is
Right.
essentially this. Like, that's pretty tough to beat too, because I know about January, February, when you're getting those days of negative 30 here
Yeah.
and the heater can barely keep up with like
Yeah.
40, 50 degrees.
Darko.
Darko's
would be
is
another
super
one that,
impressive too. Yeah.
There are a lot of right answers to
Yeah.
that
I mean,
question.
actually, I would say this. If it's a certified training facility, there's no wrong answer.
That's right. From Big Joey E, when is the big Pacific Northwest gym tour planned?
Well, I was just there, so I got to have a little time before I go back. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to look. That'd be a cool spot to go
Yep.
hit up some tours.
It's definitely a potential stop on the list. No plan for it yet. We have our big East Coast one coming up soon. We have Crew Fall. We have a South Dakota one coming up actually really soon. to get some more South Dakota ones in the books. And those are the only 2 definitively gym tour trips planned as of now, but can say that there will be more coming very soon.
Yeah.
From B Strong Dad. What do you consider the best thing you guys have ever done Massenomics related?
Boy,
the best thing you've
that's
ever
really
done.
Having to narrow
related.
down.
Yeah. I would say probably, you could say it's the friends we made along the way. The joke of that, that's a joke, but it is the community. Like, we created the community. But if I said things more specifically, the greatest thing we've ever done, it's probably like the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic, because I really believe there is not anything else like that in strength sports in the world. Like, nobody has that same thing that same type of thing that we have with the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic. And people that have been to it before will get that and will understand that. If you haven't been there, you probably don't really know what I mean by that. But it's almost like an unreplicated thing that we created through Massenomics that really nobody else has.
I would totally agree with that. And I would also say, if you're looking through the lens of the best thing we've ever done, I could give you several bests for different reasons. Like, I would say, actually, as far as the company is concerned, one of the best things we ever did was starting a Discord when we did start a Discord.
Starting the Discord when we started the Discord and starting the podcast when we started the podcast are probably the two
of the best things we ever did. Absolutely. Yeah. And I would also say that when we actually decided to start making weekly YouTube videos, like, that decision just on that face value isn't like the best decision ever. But now looking at what that's done for us from an online traction and marketing and just traffic standpoint, now a couple of years later of doing that, and the trips and like the doors it's opened and the things it's done, like that is one of the best decisions we ever made. I would also say along those lines, like, me starting a home gym was also one of the best decisions I ever made, because it really opened up some of the content options for us to just different possibilities. So there's a lot of things you could say were the best things ever for different reasons.
I agree. Do you think we should do supporting our supporting members and certified training facility of the week?
Yeah,
and
why
read
don't
a couple ads?
Yep.
Okay, supporting our supporting members is now, maybe you guys haven't heard about this, it's a relatively new segment to the Massenomics podcast. It's where we give back to those that support us. Supporting the Massenomics podcast by becoming a supporting member officially is the number one way that you can support us. And yes, I said support 17 times. Massenomics.com/join is where you can go to get more information on joining up, or just go on our homepage. We almost made it so you can't miss it now. You can't not see. And the biggest update here is we have received now most of what's going out in this next big crew mailer. So the line in the sand, I don't know that we don't have to officially set the date until we have everything in hand. But I feel like the line in the sand date is going to be in September, in the month that we're in, pretty much, right? Like, it's probably going to be in September.
Unless there's some crazy shipping delay. Yeah, it should be in September.
Right. So if you're on the fence about becoming a supporting member, get signed up now when you're hearing this, because that means you still barely just have time to get in before this big definitive line in the sand. And I got to say, I actually have some of the stuff right here off of camera. It is very cool. This is going to be very fun. It's going to be a little interactive for everyone, I think, in a way. And it's going to be very fun to see what everyone receives specifically when this big mailer goes out. Also, this is going to be an enormous mailer to get ready in comparison to even the last time that we did one. So, so
yes,
it will be interesting to see the enormous pile of letters going out when we do actually have all these ready. So the line in the sand is coming very soon. Get signed up now, and we just appreciate if you signed up, because, like I said, there is no better way that you can support and help keep the lights on here. This week, supporting our supporting members, Big JB participated in the marketplace relay for Big Mad Cow by getting a piece of used equipment. He got it to Mad Cow. Coincidentally, the seller had a certified training facility.
Oh.
So it was like this three-way supporting member certified training facility thing, and I think it was for daisy chains.
Perfect.
No, it wasn't daisy chains. It was roller J cups. But I like to think there was also daisy chains.
There
involved to
probably
sweeten the pot.
was. There probably was.
Yeah. Big Lavender Will was at Highland Games this last weekend to cheer on Big Scants, who was competing there. Big Keegan went 9 for 9 in his meet and hit provincial qualifying totals with a 580 kilogram total for Big Keegan.
No one has any idea what any of those words mean, but it's
Nope.
got to be sweet.
It sounds Canadian to me. Big Spicy Pizza received an award, a prestigious award. He's been named Menard's Team Member of the Month.
No way.
Yeah,
They
Team
just let
Member
anyone
of the
in
Month
win
for
that
Big
award these
Spicy.
days.
I guess so. 3 hip hoorays for Spicy Pizza. Then Home Gym Harry is he has his Curl Timber event running now. You can check him out at homegym_Harry. It's Curl Timber. I think it's a bunch of curling for the month of September, and there's a bunch of prizes that they're going to be giving away. So check out Home Gym Harry there. And Big Dan Mercer was this week's guest on Unpaid and Underrated. Supporting our sporting members. Thanks,
Nice.
everyone. I guess we need our certified training facility map up.
Yeah.
don't
What
we?
are you feeling? What are you in the mood for
It's-
here?
Did the main one? We were always we got Maine in Australia. Did either of them submit pictures? Because those are both.
The Maine
Was it
one?
Maine?
No, I thought we had Maine. I thought it was like Vermont or something that we were. I guess this Maine one does have photos though.
Maybe that was it. I'm
The
not
New
really
Mexico
sure now.
one, does that one have photos? I know for sure that one was missing. Nope, none there. I mean, there is one in Maine with photos. Maybe that was the one.
Maybe that was the one. I guess we could just do that one no matter what.
Yeah. Let me see.
So it does have some photos. You're saying? You're telling me there's photos.
Actually, yeah, there's some noteworthy items here. I think this would be a good one.
Okay, so we're going to Maine. It's our only one in Maine. What is it called here? Big Al's Garage Gym
Mm-hmm.
in Maine. All right. What are we seeing in Big Al's Garage Gym?
So first thing we have is a rack. And I'm seeing drink spotters in it. Red rack with drink spotters. I mean, that's the most important thing right there.
Really good start right off the
Yep.
bat.
He's got a transformer bar in there. I see some Rogue mono arms for the rack, which is that's the newer style, right? Yours are a little different than those, aren't they?
Yeah, these newer styles better than the
Yeah.
ones I have. They're a lower profile, or at
Yeah.
least they look better. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it looks like you'd be a little less likely to rip your head off on them like you can on the other ones.
Yes.
And then is this some type of hot tub, cold plunge tub of some kind behind the
I
rack
was
there?
guessing it's like a cold plunge tub.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't know totally what that is. Maybe we'll find out more as the photos go on. 'Cause there are several photos here. Hot dog heater in the garage. So this is a garage gym. See the hot dog
Okay,
heater on photo
yep.
number 2?
Dead giveaway there. What about his spotter arms on the front of his rack? Are those any particular brand of spotter arms? Or not necessarily?
No, that's not jumping out
Okay.
at me as anything particular. I don't know
All
for
right.
sure there.
Yeah, I like that he has a dedicated picture of the hot dog heater, though, represent
Yeah.
there in the garage.
And underneath it, you can just see the very corner of a curl bar hanging from the wall.
The easy
a lot of easy curl bars don't get that treatment of hanging. Have
That's true. It's got its own wall-mounted hanger there for the
Yeah.
silver easy curl bar.
It's getting some respect there.
Yeah, king of the castle. King of the castle.
Exactly. Photo number 3 outside. We have some posts with pull-up
The
bars
uneven
on 'em.
bars.
Yeah, actually, yes. We got 2 different levels of pull-up bars outside, so that's cool. Photo 4, we're back to the rack. We have a custom belt that says Big Al on it. It looks like we got some Strenco plates on there, right?
Oh yeah, Strenco plates.
Yeah.
Smooth, easy grip, made in the USA. Black E-coated.
I think that
What's
says
the bench?
rep on the bench. I think it's a little hard to tell, but I think it says rep down there. So flat,
Oh,
a red.
always has been a rep bench.
Yeah, I mean, is it a home gym with a bench? It's a rep one.
Yeah.
So we got a red bench there. Photo number 5, we got looks like an Atlas stone, right?
Yep, we're back outside. We're
back.
going all over on
Back
this journey.
outdoors. So we do have outdoor training areas. That's good. Photo number 6, we have another Atlas stone
Atlas stone
outside.
and the patio
And yeah, then there's a patio there.
with the pergola. He's got a pergola on his patio.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar with pergolas?
I am familiar with it, actually. Yeah. Looks like a real classy place with that setup. Photo number 7, we're back in the gym again, back in the garage. We have a Rogue Echo bike. trying to see if there's anything
Fan.
else.
Dog kennel.
Yeah, is that a mold for the stones back there?
Yeah, that is. What is to the right of the Echo bike? Just to the off to the side.
I can't
that's,
quite tell.
That's a black frame of something.
It looks like the badge on the bottom says Everlast. Does he have some type of like
oh,
speed
maybe
bag
it's a
or
punching
something?
bag or something there. Yeah.
Yeah, he must. That must be what that is, but you can't
Maybe
see it.
photo 8 will tell us.
And photo 8.
Back outside.
We got
full
tires.
circle for the flipping tires.
Yeah. All right.
That was a journey.
That was.
So this was Big Al's. What is it? Remind me here.
Big Al's Garage Gym.
Well, we knew it was a garage gym. It was right in the title. He gave us the answers to the test.
He did. Yeah, he wasn't trying to throw us off.
Last thing I'm really curious about, though, that I don't know if we did cover. Do you think he could get strong here in this gym?
Hell yeah. Not only are we getting strong in there, we're going to get strong out of the gym, too, because there's stuff outside. Right. So it's an inside-outside thing.
It's like Big Al's Garage Gym Oasis is what I'm saying. This place is a strength oasis.
Yes, it is.
Speaking of certified training facilities, by the time this came out, our most recent YouTube video was the tour of the Roost. It comes out tomorrow as when we're recording, but it'll be the Roost Certified Training Facility Home Gym Tour, and it's a very fun one. So if you haven't
had a chance to watch any of it yet, Tanner?
I've only watched like the first minute or two.
Oh, okay.
And I am liking it so far.
Yeah.
And the inside baseball is, we talked about this before, but the last few videos, we have a new intro format. And I feel like the intro format really comes together well in this, the Roost Home Gym Tour.
Yep. Extra level of polish.
Make sure to check it out. Leave us a comment in there. Let us know what you think of the gym tour of the Roost. That was our certified training facility of the week. I also want to make sure this week that you head over to EliteFTS.com. Right now they have free shipping with any $165 qualifying order. They also have their summer clearance sale going on right now. The American Thin Press cambered angle grip bar is $297. It's on sale for $297. Their cambered angle grip bar. It's come to my attention that I say cambered, and some people tell me that everyone's telling me it's not cambered.
I mean, I've heard people say camber, but I would just say camber. Like, that's what I would say too.
Yeah, so you say camber.
But maybe it's because you've influenced me.
That's what I did notice that you say that also, but then I just wonder if it's because you've heard me say it though.
I don't know. It's one of those things you never
phonetically
think about
you could picture it being cambered.
Yeah. It's one of those things you never think about it, and now that you do, I just can't picture. That's a tough one for me. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So it's camber or camber. What do you think?
Camber. We're never wrong.
That's right. Correct answer. We have never been wrong, and everyone else that disagrees, they are the ones that say things wrong. So that is a fact. 20% off all the bands, including their floss bands, everything else. Discount code Massenomics, or not Massenomics, it's Mass10. That saves you 10% on top of those sale items that I mentioned, and on top of the free shipping, all that. Use Mass10 and save 10% at EliteFTS.com.
This episode is also brought to you by the Strength Co. The Strength Co. are the go-to plates at Massenomics Gym, Tommy's Gym. Also, what was it? Big Al's Gym? Was that Big Al's Garage Gym?
Yeah, Big Al's Garage Gym.
They're also the go-to plates there, and that's just by chance. We didn't even plan this. That must be a real pair of go-to. I mean, it must be the set of go-to plates because they're popping up in all these places.
For pretty near everyone, yeah.
They're smooth yet easy to grip. They're black. They're E-coated. They're made to last a lifetime and then some. It's the Strength Co. They're made in America. Like I said, we've been rocking these plates for several years now. They've never let us down. They look pretty much as good as the day we bought them. And they're simply the best. If you'd like to get a pair for yourself, head on over to thestrength.co. Pick up a set today, and you won't regret it. Thestrength.co.
Thank you, The Strength Co. Do we want to go back to some Q&A now?
I think
get
so.
Back on
Yes.
the Q&A train.
Yes.
What about kicking off the live listeners? What do you feel about that?
You'd never let me kick them off. They're out of here.
Oh, thank God. I was hoping you had already just done it and put these put these people out of their misery.
Oh.
Put us out of our misery. Get them out of here.
You know what? I just realized I can just put them all in the waiting room, and then I don't have to do a double click to report them.
Oh,
But then I have this. I put Tron in the waiting room on accident. He can just stay there forever, I guess.
he's in Massenomics podcast purgatory now.
He is.
We'll
He's
never
like,
see
"Wait,
Tron again.
Wait, what happened? Was I supposed
Look,
to be in here?
We're at Crew Falls. Where's Tron? Oh, he's still in the waiting room.
Yeah,
Tommy never let him out.
Never left that waiting room.
Yeah. It's like, actually, I didn't even think this. I almost just said this. It's like Tron.
Yeah, it kind of is actually. Some weird.
It's like the movie.
Some weird digital place that he can't
Yes.
escape.
Yes. I don't know if my head just drew that parallel there, but that's really is what it's like, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Tron. You can't Tron a Tron. Just watch us. From Waka, Texas Ranger 757. Best powerlifting meet tips. Let's just say best. We'll each give them one tip. What's your one best powerlifting meet tip?
And is this assuming you're going in having probably never done a meet before?
I think so. I think that's the angle I would take on it is what's your best piece of advice for someone that's never done one before?
I would say this. You've never done a meet, so everything is a meet PR, and go in and just try to hit as many lifts as you can. Like, it's not going to be a fun first meet to go 3 for 9 or 4 for 9. Just go. It'd be way funner to go in with a little extra in the tank than to miss 4 lifts. So that's, I would just say, like, play your first one kind of conservative. Have fun with it. Like, unless you actually are like coming out to set world records on your first attempt, your first meet, which would be really weird. Just go have fun. Like, it's your first meet. You shouldn't really, if this is something you like, you're going to look back and be like, oh, my first meet, that was fun. I'm glad I did that. Like, you're not gonna be like, oh man, my first meet numbers, man. Like, you don't want to be the person that's like just all hyped on your first meet numbers. So.
Yep. That's good. I would say not that much different than that. I would say, make sure to just let it be fun, have fun doing it. And, don't be afraid to meet some friends when you're doing it. If you're not going with don't not talk to anyone. Like, talk to some people when you're warming up that you're lifting with and make some friends out of it. Because there's people I've, done competitions with and you're friends with them a decade later because just you shared the lifting experience together that day.
It is a pretty good test for people that if you do actually a strength competition of any kind with someone, there's a difference between someone that just doesn't talk much. Like, some people during a meet won't be very talkative, but afterwards they might be very talkative. But there's a difference between someone that's not very talkative, doesn't want to talk a whole lot, versus someone that is an actual asshole. And like as time goes on, you'll run into both, and you'll realize like, oh no, just on meet day, he's kind of in his zone, he's kind of quiet. Right. And then like also this guy is an asshole and annoying, and you're like, yep, I know who I'm going to spend my time with when it, or who I'm going to be around when it comes to it. So that's something to pay attention to.
Big Ryan said, what is a job you couldn't be paid any reasonable amount of money to do? Anything that comes to your mind? Basically, a job you wouldn't do for any.
Well, the definition comes down to what's a reasonable amount of money.
Right.
Here.
That's kind of the thing.
Is it a reasonable amount
there's
of money?
almost a price for anything.
Are we talking
right?
like the median salary in the country, or are we just talking about
then
like,
there'd be a lot of jobs I wouldn't want to do.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, a CEO gets paid like $1 million. I'll take 700. That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, right.
Boy, but a job that I would just have a really hard time taking with any amount of money. I don't know. It'd be really hard to be a public school teacher. It'd be a hard job to do. Like, there's definitely roles you get in that would be good, but that would be a challenging job to be in. But
I don't know if I have a great answer. I'm just thinking of things I'm unqualified for.
That's what I keep coming back to too.
Couldn't go be a medical doctor because I just
I'm just gonna say things I suck at.
I'd be so stressed out because I'd be like, I don't know what's going on. That's not my. And I don't feel like even with the proper training would I, some of that stuff. If I was like to perform surgeries, I feel like that's not something I would enjoy even if I had the proper training. Like a high level of an anxiety in some of that stuff for me.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
Okay. This next one's from Tom's buddy Nate. What is Tommy's least favorite font, and what is his most favorite font?
Actually, two very good questions there.
Yeah.
Least favorite. This will sound cliche, but I mean, Comic Sans does suck. Like you can't actually use it unless you're using it in a self-aware way. You know, like basically your permissions are, okay, are you doing something for children? Then you could maybe use it, but even there it's pretty played out. Otherwise, it's like no one uses it in a serious way. Like you're using it to intentionally make something look bad is pretty much where Comic Sans is at this point. Favorite fonts. It's hard to stay away from good sans serif. And, you know, if we're talking about print, you know, there's different licensing issues with websites versus print because you can't use, like you have to own fonts in a different way to put them on a website versus in a print format. But like if we're working on a design piece, it's pretty hard to deny some just good like Helvetica. Like it just works. It's pretty classic.
Also, there's a ton of variations of Helvetica.
That's what I was going to say.
Also, you can just stay within Helvetica and almost achieve any.
That's what makes it so good. Is like, do you need like a really bold, narrow headline? You got like Helvetica narrow condensed, condensed in all these different ways. Do you want something that just looks massive? There's Helvetica extended or wide, extra wide. Like if you have the full set, like the full set of it might have like 100 different font weights in it, and you can make it look like almost anything you want it to. And that's why.
Then you can probably also like keep it cohesive.
You can, yeah. So because that's the thing is like every font feels like a different voice. Right. So if you have like you don't want to design with 9 different fonts in it unless you're intentionally trying to do something wacky. But when you have a font that has that many variations, it still feels like the same voice. It all goes together, but it's just different styles of the same one. So there's a reason that's one of the most popular fonts of all time, and it's easy to read. Like people know how to read it. Like they're used to seeing it. It's easy to read. So. That's always a go-to, but if I just were to say broader, I would say kind of any sans serif is just hard to go against. It's a good safe pick always.
I'm sure I picked it up from you, but I use Helvetica variations a lot because you can achieve most effects, and it's like very very readable. You know,
like you start typing something out in Helvetica. If you're designing a piece, and you're like, it's too long, it doesn't fit on this line. Helvetica narrow. Here we go. It just all shrunk in, and it's still bold and easy. I mean, Futura is really popular, but after you do this long enough, you do start to notice like, oh, well, Futura is what Nike uses. And then you start writing something like, oh, this just looks like a Nike ad now if you put that on things. So certain brands, if time has gone on, have starting to be known more for their fonts, and it's something to be aware of there too.
Tom's buddy Nate again, where does Massenomics have economic nexus? A very technical business question here. Okay, so we have talked about economic nexus at least a couple of times, and we probably won't get to all the inner workings of Massenomics, but I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Economic nexus is when you have the responsibility as a seller of something to collect sales tax and then remit sales tax to that state.
In that state, yep.
In that state. If you have economic nexus in that state, that's what you have the responsibility of doing. And that's set state by state, and it's usually related to a dollar amount of business and or a number of transactions of business in a certain period of time.
Yes, in a certain period
gets
of time.
You economic
and
nexus.
Also,
I'll tell you this, we have economic nexus in South Dakota.
Yes, that is a guarantee.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, there's 50 states, and basically everyone has a variation of the rules.
Yeah.
And some it's like, oh, there's a dollar amount, a number of transactions, and also it applies to just certain industries as well. Like it's all over the board.
Other fun fact, I believe the whole thing came about from a court case. You know, it's South Dakota
Wayfair
versus
South
Wayfair.
Dakota.
Yeah, is the important court case that
South Dakota, the land of low taxes. It's who to thank for sales tax and all of your online purchases.
It's a pretty big mess and a pain in the ass, and they're
it's a disaster.
It's a disaster. I think that's a good way of putting it. Get Strong Jen. Have you noticed an increase in haters as Massenomics continues to grow?
I don't know. I mean, maybe there's a little more, but I mean, there was definitely some haters that would get like random comments back in the day too. Like it was,
we don't have any hate. I feel like we don't have any haters that actually know any of our stuff. We just
Yeah.
get the random comment
And to me, that's just
from someone that's never
that could just as well be a
consumed anything
bot.
of
You know,
ours.
like
Right.
those ones just don't even bug me at all.
I don't think we get it, like, because I see I see some really big influencers that
Like
they have
Dr. Mike
commenters
has
of
straight up
people-
haters. That
that
people
people are
just
like, oh, I'm coming to every
want-
Dr. Mike video too because
that just want
I
to
wanna-
see him
yeah.
lose. And
I don't know if
suck.
we have one person like that.
I don't think so.
And
Like,
not
you
a
get-
vocal person like that.
Yeah.
There's probably people like that.
Because
but
it's a
not-
different story when, let's say, a reel goes kind of viral and just gets a bunch of shitty comments on it. Those just
Yeah, we
aren't
get
real.
that.
Those just aren't real. I mean, yes, someone left a comment, but they're just gone in the ether. They don't really matter. It's not like that person's coming back to every post forever, leaving negative comments. And there's definitely people online that have that.
Well, and we've gotten the Brian stemmed from that.
The lift shorts thing.
But yeah, but those are just people that never were consuming any of our stuff prior to that. So I don't
And they're not
think
going
so.
out of their way to like seek. To me, that's what a real hater is your intention. Like, all right, what's Dr. Mike posting today? Because I
Right.
got to go shit on it, you know?
It almost seems like by the nature of Massenomics, we don't attract a lot of haters because we're not taking stances on polarizing issues that will make a group of people hate you for it.
Well, this episode isn't done yet, so
You just stay tuned, haters. Kevin RSG. Oh no. How is Atlas Shrug going for Tanner? Pass.
that good, huh?
I have not been reading Atlas Shrugged. I still have it out. Actually, to be completely honest, it's probably, I would say, shortly before the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic. I sat down one day and read about 10 pages
Okay.
of Atlas Shrugged.
Said,
and
"Ooh,
then
that'll do it for
the-
2025.
Yep. Then again, not since then. A really quick sports and book segment, though. I've been meaning to mention this. What was the name of the book that I said wrong? Project Hail Mary.
Mm-hmm.
During the Lift Hard, Live Easy Classic, I was talking to Matthias Cash, and he's like, "Oh, love that book. That was awesome." And I'm like, and he's like, "Yeah, he's into some science fiction books and stuff." I'm like, "Well, what's the next recommendation for me? You know, I got to know what to do next." So he said, "You need to read Red Rising."
Oh, is that
So I've
kind of
been
the
doing
same
that
vein
in
as those?
In the sense that it's science fiction.
Oh, but it's not like the same author or
No,
anything.
not
Okay,
the same
okay.
author or anything like that. It's really popular right now. So I did the audio book of Red Rising. So good.
Really?
Really good. The trap, though, that I didn't understand until I was like halfway through this book. This isn't just one book. Like, as I was listening to the book, I was like, how is this ever going to like come full circle and end this in, however many more chapters? And I'm like, there's 5 books. So I'm currently about halfway through the second book.
Oh, damn. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're moving along.
Yeah, it is good. I actually, it's also further contributes to me not watching TV, because if I do get a spare minute, I'm like, kind of want to like keep plugging away on that book more so than I don't have
Wait,
a
so you're reading it or audiobook?
I'm audiobooking this one.
So when you have a spare minute, like, do you turn it on and just sit there, or like, what do you do?
yeah, I'll
You
do that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
It's-
so tuned into the idea that when audio's playing, I'm like finding a busy task. Like I'm like doing dishes or folding laundry, like something to like feel
if I'm
productive.
doing dishes or something like that, yes, that's actually a good time.
Yeah.
What I can't do it is if I'm like have actual straight up work I'm doing.
No, God, no. Yeah, not at
Yeah.
all. Like I used to be able to do that with podcasts, and I can't even do it with podcasts anymore.
Right. Sometimes I try if I'm packing orders, but packing orders is
See, that's
just
hard
enough.
too, 'cause
Like
you're just double
specific
checking
work, 'cause
names and addresses.
I'm double checking names. I'm writing thank you notes.
Mm-hmm. But like,
I
let's say
can't comprehend what's going on.
It's
if
8
I do
o'clock on a Thursday night. The week's
Yeah.
kind of winding down. You got nothing to do at that time. Like, you will just like sit on the couch and like just turn the audiobook on. Is that?
Yeah, kind of. I will actually more so find something to do to your earlier
okay.
point. Like I will straight up be like, okay, I could do the dishes now
Okay.
and get this done. Or I have done that. Or I'll be like, it's 9:30. I'm about ready for bed. I'm just going to go lay down and put the audiobook on and then just shut it off once I'm tired.
Okay.
Or driving's a good time. To definitely
Driving.
listen to
I mean, that
driving.
is the ultimate one where it's you're staying active enough that your just brain is focused
Yeah.
in, and yeah.
And it's really good. It's Red Rising, and then I think second one I'm on is Golden Sun. Science fiction, very like Hunger Game-esque in some ways. The 10-second synopsis. It's like way far in the future, where it's people inhabit Mars and mini planets, and there's a class system, a very defined class system by literally colors of the there's a red class, a gold class, et cetera, and it's very I guess it's dystopian future. And it is very good.
All right.
And I'm like, I don't know how they do it, but I just struggle to not see this be like an really good. I don't see how you make it in. Maybe you can make it into a series of movies. I can't.
Right.
I just at some point in time picture it being something that you see on screen,
big ass
too.
TV show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like a game. It'd be, I don't know, poor man's Game of Thrones or something like that. That's my recommendation. That's courtesy of Matthias Cash, the 2-time champ of the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic. He also knows a good audiobook.
All right.
Whatever.
Good to know.
Derailed me on that one. Going back to where we were at, find my spot. Well, shorter answer is Atlas Shrugged, no progress. Jory says, if you could add a 4th discipline to powerlifting, what would it be?
Ooh. Okay. So we have a lane upper body test. We have the squat. Obviously, that makes sense. Deadlift makes sense. What would the 4th thing? I mean, I feel like a lot of people would say overhead press is what a lot of people would lean towards. But we all know the actual answer is
horse stall mat gripper.
We all know the actual answer is a weighted dip. That would be a weighted 1 rep
squat of the upper body. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. In the name of keeping with barbell lifts, I think an overhead press of some kind would make sense, but
yeah, I'll go with, I know that there is a deadlift is one of the disciplines, but a slight variation there will be the max deadlift still, but there'll also be 10 rep max double overhand Texas power bar.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, that's the right answer. Yep, that's actually what's missing. Is it? We need to make the meet longer by adding it in a 10 rep max deadlift event. That
and you get
goes
3
on.
attempts.
Yeah. And there's no time limit on it. Once the reps start, there's no time limit on it.
Big Kemp MD says, he says Mount Rushmore. We don't need to do Mount Rushmore of this. So we'll just say, what are some notable eateries we have visited while traveling for the podcast or YouTube?
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore would be a challenge.
So
the goated one
is Hubert's.
It's Hubert's Polish Kitchen. There's no place with more Massenomics lore than Hubert's Polish Kitchen in the bus.
Yep.
The
Inside
bus.
that market, whatever
the market,
it is.
North. Is it the North?
That's what I was going to say too, and I didn't know if I was just making that up.
We might be making that up. It's something market.
Yeah, right across from the convention center in downtown.
Hubert,
Columbus.
you've heard us talk about Hubert. Everyone knows the Perot. I just thought of it now. I'm like, oh, that's the one thing I'm excited about most going back to the Arnold. Yeah, Hubert's Polish Kitchen.
That's up there. This said places we visited on trips. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
So
like
Ohio
Massenomics
Pico,
trips.
that's right up there too.
Oh yeah,
that was
sure.
Great experience.
Good call.
The thing is the food is so secondary to what we're actually doing that
Almost
a lot
all
of
the
times
time.
it's like, nope, just what can we catch on the go?
When we were in California, where did we?
That
eat?
Mexican place we went with Chad was really good.
That was pretty good.
The Grant's.
It wasn't like an all-time great.
No,
place
but
to
it was
go
really
eat or
good.
anything, but it was
Grant's
good,
chicken place was really good. The El
Is
Pollo
that
Loco.
That
was good.
Yeah.
That was a cool experience. It's become a little bit of a tradition for us now as we hit up Texas Roadhouse on the way to the Arnold every year.
That's
and after
kind of
like
in the Mount Rushmore just because of the tradition.
and
that
after like a 16-hour drive, it's just so
Oh,
what
it's so
you
good.
need.
I eat like 50 rolls and like
Pizza Ranch
MarcoFactor isn't going to know what to hit it next time we go there
No,
again.
it won't. Pizza Ranch got started on Crew Falls this past year.
There you go.
But other food experiences like Ohio, outside of Ohio Pico, I don't think we ate anything fancy at all.
What about in the Carolinas? Did we ever really?
Oh, Ashton gave us a pretty cool place that was definitely more of a
good.
local.
Yeah, that
spot.
was good.
I can't even remember what it was called.
What your original comment is so true though. Like the food, most of the time we're just literally like getting something to eat because
we're looking at our trip out east, and it's literally like
we basically don't have time.
No, we just know that there will be, because this gym tour gets cut off at 11. The next one starts at 1. There's an hour and 45 minutes of travel, and we have 2 hours to do it. So it's just whatever fits in that 15-minute window is how it works. And that's what makes these trips work, is that we're not planning fun stuff at all along the way, you know?
Right.
Just trying to think if there's been any, like, actually with food, the one is at the Arnold every year. We don't go to these places, but Nick from Live Large always has just the most insane hookups with, oh yeah, this is the best donut shop in the area.
Right.
This is the best sandwich shop. And he's always got like some pieces, and he's like, oh yeah, here, eat some of this. And it's really, really good.
Evening where we had the group get together at the Arnold this year, where we eat there with Grant the year before. I love that place.
Yes.
That fried chicken place.
It's,
is that the Eagle's Nest or something like that?
I was going to say it's the Falcon or the Eagle, but yeah, it's something like that is that High Street in Columbus or whatever that, I'm not
know that stuff. In the bus. You mean in the bus?
The Eagle Short North. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that is really good food.
That chicken there is freaking. Sometimes it's just time and setting too. When you're just like,
everyone
so
said that though when we left. Everyone was like, "This food was incredible. This food was amazing." If that was part of just our tradition every year, going to the Arnold going forward, I would be totally down for it. Well, like Grant, the first time we ate there was with him, and he's like, "Yeah, we just ate here 3 nights in a row because the food's so good."
I kind of get it.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Big David, will you finally be able to get strong with the pendulum squat machine? I thought so. That was the missing link. Now I'm just wondering if it's the next piece that's really the missing link. I think we're always just one piece off.
It's got you so close that there probably is just one thing that'll set you over the edge.
Yeah,
I have seen a lot of videos of people using the pendulum squat, and I do get really jealous when I see that thing.
The pendulum squat is the real deal. I know we have the YouTube video on it that you can go check out and watch, and where we hype it up, but I just got to say again, it is the real deal.
Actually, quite a few comments in that video of people seeming to admit that the pendulum squat is just the best.
There's not a person in the gym that uses it that says, oh, that thing's no, everyone goes, oh, that thing frickin' lights me up. You know, everyone is like, can barely walk after using that, you know?
It's like, yeah, no wonder no one was getting strong. You didn't have a pendulum squat
That's
before.
right. That always was the thing. F this workout. What lift would give you okay. What lift would give you the worst understanding of someone's overall strength?
I like that question.
Here's what I'd say in like somewhat not of a joking matter. It would probably be some of these certain grip strength events.
I was going to say grip too. I actually thought you were going to joke and say the double overhead 10 grip deadlift.
No, that one I believe actually
good test.
is not a terrible test. Like I believe that there is
like, you're hanging on and you're doing a lot. Yeah, you are strong.
Yeah, that's actually I'm putting that back. That's back to that answer. Opposite question. That's the lift I would make someone do.
That's actually the answer to the question of what lift is the best gauge of someone's strength.
Yes,
10 double overhead,
10
rep max deadlift. Yeah, I think any grip thing, because you can score really high on grip and have a strong grip, but also just suck at
not
lifting.
be strong at anything else.
That's not unusual. Like that's totally doable. And also, we know a lot of guys that are really strong that aren't very good at grip stuff. So
true.
That just shows like there is very little carryover between the two.
I think that's a fairly good answer. Outside of going crazy and just being like, well, there's a bunch of stupid lifts that would like not be I don't believe are good lifts that wouldn't be good.
Or just like really technical lifts, like a hang clean.
Right.
I mean,
if
you're not doing them, you could be really strong, but you could also not do those and be immobile, and your hang clean could be a very low number.
Yeah. Usually you'd even on a hang clean, you'd be like, oh, it looked like absolute shit.
Well, but I'm just saying,
like
if
an
someone
amount of
just
weight
said their max hang clean is 225.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like,
it'd be more like an eye test to me where I'm like, oh, you looked absolutely terrible, but you did 225. I'm like, yeah, you're probably pretty strong. You just suck at hang clean.
Yeah. I'm saying if you had a sheet of paper in front of you of everyone's maxes lined up, like that is not telling a good story to their overall strength level.
Yep. I could see that. What's Upton? Will Massenomics ever tap into the sparkling water market? I think that's a pretty hard one, getting fridge space. I've watched enough Shark Tanks to know that
that'd be a challenging one. Yeah.
Hey,
we're not against the collab of some kind here. If someone's out there,
that's our foot in the door.
we can get our blessing on someone else's stuff, but
yeah,
it'd be hard for us to enter that on our own.
Big O'Doyle. What has more wool, Tommy's hair or the entire Swiss Link catalog?
Probably my hair. Got to find that guy in Ohio. He could tell us the answer.
That's a really good question, though. The Swiss Link catalog does have a lot of wool in it also.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of wool from other countries.
Maybe not enough.
Big Erickson KJ. Do you guys have long-term training goals? PRs you'd like to hit? I mean, do you have long-term training goals?
I actually do.
And
I'm
PRs
not
that you'd like to hit.
I'm not super strict on these because I just know things change, and especially as I age, it could just also life could happen, and it gets increasingly harder every year.
Yep.
But I would love to just break my all-time total PR and all of my existing PRs. I mean, I just recently broke my all-time bench PR. I think of breaking.
So all you want to do is set a PR in everything.
Actually, yeah. It's a very modest goal. I just want to set a PR in everything. It's actually funny to think about it that way. But yes, that is.
But actually, in your case, I get that.
I think
actually
it's pretty
makes
within
sense.
reach,
Like that,
though, is the thing. Like, I don't
is.
think that's. I think I know I underperformed on my deadlift this year, and I do feel like I underperformed a bit on my squat. I mean, I underperformed on my prep leading in because I had that back injury, and I think realistically there was a little more left on both of those, and that doesn't put me super far away from my best attempts on either one of those lifts. So, that's the thing is I feel like it'd be a different story if I was 200 pounds off of my all-time PRs, but I'm not. I'm within 90% or closer. So I feel like it's within reach. Like a real stretch goal would be like, it'd be really cool someday to say I benched 405 and squatted 600, and wherever the deadlift ends up, sure. Okay. Yeah. I don't even care.
Yeah,
but it'd be really cool someday to say bench 405 and squat 600. But I just know the amount of work to get to those numbers it's not like, oh yeah, you just do a little more. It's like, no, it's exponentially more time and effort. And the time and effort meter is getting tested more and more all the time.
We've got Pelotons to ride too.
We got Pelotons to ride. I don't know if you know about this, Tanner. Have you heard about this? But when you have kids that start to get a little older, there's a thing called activities.
Well, just wait. I think that's coming up in a question here.
Okay.
Too. I think that I remember that there's something question. Yeah, that is coming up in a question. My answer, I guess I do. I wouldn't really necessarily say any specific numbers or anything like that because I like to just keep some of those things. Like,
well, just say all PR, all-time PRs, and
all
everything.
Yeah, I don't even say that. I wouldn't even say that's my goal. Actually, my goals now, whether this is long term or whatever term, is just after my last knee surgery. It's like just get back to what I consider strong for me. Yeah. Not strong like while rehabbing a knee, but just get back to numbers where I'm like, okay, I feel like when I'm at these numbers, I am a strong person. And I feel like I'm on my way to that.
I think so. I think you are. And that's also a much longer road than what I'm on, to be honest. Right. Yeah, you're just starting in a much tougher spot than where I'm currently at.
Like after the last one, I eventually hit a squat PR after that, like an all-time squat PR. If I could do that again, that would be great. But that's not even really my goal. My goal is just get my squat. Well, it might not be an all-time PR, but it's like, I'm squatting like, if my good numbers in the past were from here to here, and I'm like in here,
just a notch below. That's
that's I'm like, okay, yep, that's good. Big Mini says Massenomics boonie hats when.
I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. We've looked at this several times over the years. Blanks have been an issue. That's just the main thing with it.
And I guess there's boonie hats and there's bucket hats and they're similar hats.
Yeah, that's also a thing too. But yeah, it's blanks between sizing, styling, pricing. It's it's been a challenge. So that's the issue.
Not strong, just fat. Any true industry enemies? He asked us. Well, not yet.
Yeah. Stay tuned.
Tango Charlie apparel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. They fit the vibe.
They're irrelevant to us, to
Right.
be perfectly honest. They're not an enemy.
They don't
I
really feel like they're in our industry. They're just
can't be an-
leeches.
Yeah, it can't be your enemy if you just really don't even, they don't exist as far as we're concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the best answer.
You know, I was actually just thinking about the other day. Remember when we were at the Arnold and there was a guy that worked for Tango Charlie and he was
So
like,
he was like taking pictures.
4 aisles down from us at the Arnold and he was taking pictures from us and you could so obviously tell he was taking photos of us, but he was standing
Yes.
very far away. That's
Yeah,
weird,
yes.
right?
Yes. That is weird. And that definitely happened.
That fits
wasn't
the vibe of the company though, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Jeff says, how long until Massenomics is displaced by AI?
Oh man. I don't know. Like to see AI spend 4 hours in the gym and not get any
Shit their
stronger.
pants. I'd like to see AI shit their pants.
I don't know. I feel like the thing that really makes Massenomics powerful compared to some other
Yeah.
brands is that community aspect, and there's a certain level of community outreach and involvement. And it's
there's
hard
a
for
very human element of that.
that's what I actually think.
Yeah.
What makes Massenomics so good is the human element.
We're pretty safe, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies that do. I mean, I've listened to a lot of business stuff over the years, and actually, we were kind of having a conversation about this recently. How it was really popular not that long ago in business advice was just like scale, build your business,
Yep.
scale,
Yep.
build systems, let everyone take over for all that and do it. And yeah, I mean, like that is definitely a way to run a business, but I'm like, you kind of also ruin the magic sauce of like what people like about it. And that's maybe certain characters, people being in it. And I think that's what we have is that human element. And yeah, I mean, could AI do a bunch of Massenomic stuff? Probably. But I think that removes I think that's maybe why people like us is, yeah, you could tell AI to write a script about some home gym talk, but I don't know. They come back for the LaCroix and bad food takes or something. I don't know.
Yep. I think that's a really good answer. I also just wonder if it's going to be longer than some people think until AI is really like
I keep thinking that too. And they're
doing stuff that like crazy stuff that we kind of have the expectation that it's going to be doing at some point in time. I'm just wondering, is that really what's happening, or is like it's not actually doing what people think it's doing?
Well, there's billions of dollars that depend on it. I mean, there's billions of dollars that are being invested that depend on people buying into the hype.
Right.
You know, and it's like,
Right.
well, but if you don't believe the hype, well, then that means that the billions of dollars was a waste. And we don't want to say that it's a waste, so we have to keep believing the hype by throwing more into it.
Right.
But you're starting to see more and more stuff come out of like even one, investors being like, hey, when does this return money? And then two, even some of these bigger people at companies starting to be like, yeah, maybe there was too much hype on some of this stuff as to what it, like, don't get me wrong. I still use it every day and I still think it has a lot of
it's a
useful
great tool. It's an
things.
awesome tool.
But there's a lot of people that just seem to think that it will and can take care of everything. And it's like, no, there's actually a lot of stuff it still does suck at really bad.
I just want, like, I'm not saying that someday it might not do like all these things that people think and maybe hope that it's going to do. I just wonder if the timeline is like a lot longer than what some of us were made to believe. At
Well,
one
I
point
think
in
a lot
time.
longer, and also it might be even more expensive than people think it's going to be
Right.
to get there. And
Like,
at a certain point, like people just aren't going to want to be starting money on fire anymore.
Right.
And that's where it's going to get really hard.
but
yeah,
I don't
without
know
a
shit.
doubt-
I don't know shit about it, but
Yeah.
just as a user of it, like of the, of the things that I use, like a paid version of Chat GPT that costs almost nothing that how many
Mhm.
millions of people have. But I'm like, I don't know. People talk about how it's just going to be exponentially greater and more powerful and do all these other things at a certain point. And I'm like, I don't know. Seems like it still takes forever to load up a fucking picture if I wanted to make one, like I'm like, and it's like kind of sucks in a way. I mean, like
and burn
once
enough
the
electricity
novelty
for
wears
4 houses in the
Yeah,
process.
once the novelty of what it has been able to do wears off and you try and use it, you're like, I don't know what's cool. Now I'm like, maybe it kind of sucks. Like it kind of does that thing, but it's like not doing it very well.
If I didn't work in a creative field, I think my uses would be very limited for it.
Right.
Because so much of my use is brainstorming and things
Right.
related to, I don't know, content marketing or copyright, things like that. Not to say I wouldn't use it for other things, but I think I would have much more limited uses for it than if I wasn't in the field that I'm in.
Yep. Let's see. Okay, how about a quick answer here? FMK, Brian, Gabe, Randy.
I'd line them all up and shoot them
One bullet.
That's too dumb. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Yeah.
too stupid. That's probably my least favorite type of question. I don't
Yeah.
like. I think I don't like those questions.
Yeah. Big Dan Eager says horse stall scented ammonia when? Oh, I would just say never. We've got some big connections in high places there, so you never know what's going to come out for these. Big Omar Martinez, when will the silly goose finally find his druthers? We're going to have to stay tuned for part 2 of that book series.
Yeah, it's still coming along.
That children's book series.
All-time meme right there.
Great
All-time meme.
callback on that one. Mostly Matt. Any big changes to the Lift Hard, Live Easy 4? I would say yes, there is going to be some big changes. To
Yeah, we
Lift
haven't
Hard,
actually
Live Easy
said
4.
anything about this, have we?
No.
Now's not the
Maybe
time either, but
no, I don't think now's the time. But yeah,
No, but
there is
yeah,
going to be some pretty big changes. I think all for the better.
I think so. I think people are going to be excited about this.
Yeah. Have you heard about this? You really haven't, but you will hear about this. Go for Gains. It's a hard question for me. All-time favorite movie? You have an all-time favorite movie? Have you seen it?
I don't know if people picked this up on me. I really struggle to pick all-time favorites and things because so many things for me are just very mood dependent. Like, I mean, there's so many great movies, but they're also like intense dramas. And it's like, God, I can't handle watching this more than like once every few years, you know? I mean, I guess that doesn't mean it can't be a favorite, but part of me, the favorite is like, oh, it also has to have a level of rewatchability in it too. I don't know. I've always said like Pulp Fiction is up there and one. It's just a fun, crazy movie. But that being said, I probably haven't watched that movie in 10 years now. I don't know. Pulp Fiction's very high on my list. What about you?
I really like Shawshank Redemption. I've probably watched it like 15 times.
Really?
It's one of those movies that was on TV all the time when like TV was a thing. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say that. It's one of my favorite movies. This is a very cliche thing of a man of my age, but when I was 22, a movie came out called The Dark Knight. I still really do like The Dark Knight.
It was a very impactful movie.
I really liked The Dark Knight. Like I can watch The Dark Knight and the scenes of it. I'm like, this is so good.
I mean, it nailed the action thing. Like action comic book was perfected.
To me, that beats all of the Marvel movies that ever came out. It didn't get better than The Dark Knight. And I guess The Dark Knight Rises. I would almost like lump that as a choice B to the, it's like those two, not the first. I mean, the first one's the Begins one is fine, but it's really with the Joker. It was when you were in your early 20s. I'm like, this is freaking great.
I mean, yeah, like the Joker, like people have been fans of the Joker ever since then. And in like weird,
people have been going as Heath Ledger Joker to Halloween for 20 years.
I mean, and even Bane for that matter too, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Like a Batman villain that up until that point, most people had never even heard of before, you know?
Right. So I don't know. Maybe it's The Dark Knight. That feels like a bad answer, but it's kind of maybe is like, I mean, it's just like that movie is always good to me.
But it checks the boxes. High rewatchability.
Yes.
Pretty freaking awesome. I mean, got a lot of crossover appeal. A lot of people would be down for it. I mean, it's maybe not the most critically acclaimed answer, but it's a good one. Like Shawshank Redemption will take the critical choice pick there, but
okay. Captain Ron, my wife was asking if there are going to be any more slutty little shorts coming out.
Well, we're always working on something, so stay tuned there.
Stay tuned for slutty little shorts. Kurt, in a home gym, is it better to go with a combo rack or a power rack? I'd say for most people in most applications, it's a power rack.
I do believe that too. Like there's nothing wrong with having a combo rack, but I would say in my personal experience, spotting feels a little safer. You have a lot more options as far as versatility with the rack.
Yeah.
You know, with attachments, attachments on a combo rack aren't really a thing. There's just way more. I mean, you have more directions, ways you can squat, bench, do that type of stuff. It just has a lot more versatility. While also not actually taking up that. I mean, it's less movable, but the footprint's pretty similar.
Yeah, I agree. From Big Boston Jose, I like this. When you have a set of 10, do you count 1 through 10 or 1 through 5 twice or any other combination? What do you do?
I've never thought about not counting linearly.
I definitely do what he's saying. Oh yeah, I do that all the time.
You'll be repping them out hard and be like 5, 1, 2. Like you'll go back to what? For real?
Especially at a set of 10. Yes, I will do exactly what he's.
No, because
not all the time.
Start, you're just kicking yourself back to the beginning.
But it's less of a hill to climb to me.
No,
it feels like you're eating it in chunks.
I'd much rather be on number 6 than go back to the start at 1.
That makes sense to me too. The big thing I'll do it the biggest on is like, I did this today, sets of 15, for my accessory work. I'll do that 3. I'll count 1 to 5 3 times.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
I've never even considered that
before. And I've never mentioned that to anyone ever in my life. And
so people must do that.
Yeah, it's very interesting that that's his comment here,
Wow.
But,
I've never even once thought of messing with that number when I'm doing reps. Like it's just linearly, it's just a linear thing. And the closer that number gets to the last one, the more excited I get because it's, I'm getting there.
Let us know in the comment section, which camp are you in? Is that insane to break that apart counting? Or I've never asked anyone or never brought that up. So that's interesting to me that he mentioned that, because it would tell me that he probably, at the very least, has done it before. Let us know in the comment section, do you ever do that or not?
Like the closest thing I get to that, and this really isn't even that close, is let's say I have a really heavy set for the day, a tough working set. Maybe let's say I got like 5 sets of 4 and they're heavy or something. And I'm like, okay, set 2 halfway through means I'm halfway done. Or, like set 3 and I'm hitting it's like, okay.
Oh yeah.
The halfway mark exists on this set. And then we're getting there. And that's the closest thing I ever get to thinking of breaking it up in any way though.
Yeah.
Wow. Gym hacks.
Yeah. Gym hacks that aren't really hacks. Okay. All right, we'll do this FMK. Maybe you like this one better. This is from Buzz. Peloton, Concept 2 rower, and the ski erg.
Well, I actually do like this one a lot more. I do.
Yeah.
But my problem is I've never used a ski erg, and I've
really
only used a rower for like a minute in my life. So I'm just taking total.
So you're gonna marry
guesses
the
on
Peloton.
Here. So I got to marry the Peloton. I'll kill. It'd be really nice if I could just say I've just done 1 rep of a ski erg. I just even know what it feels like.
Well, I guess I did Dr. Taddy
I mean,
Waffles.
I saw you do it. I didn't touch it though.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm gonna marry the Peloton, I guess I'm gonna fuck with the ski erg
upper
to get
body.
a little upper, and I'm gonna kill the rower then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am going to kill the ski erg because I've never really used it. I've been very intrigued by the ski erg for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The Peloton and the rower is tough. I guess I already killed the ski erg, so I guess I get to keep the other 2 in my life, at least in some capacity. So that's good. I guess I would marry the rower because I still just really like the rower.
Yeah, you are a rower guy.
Yeah.
Actually, we could talk about this. You've been hitting some sprints on that too.
That's true. The newest rower challenge, 100-meter dash challenge. I had Caden doing it in the gym today. I said, you got to see if you can break my time.
And did he?
And he could not do it. He got down to 15.7 today.
And what was
Which
yours?
is a very good time. 14.9 is my best.
Okay.
I have not seen anyone in the Discord yet beat my time. I think
14.9.
Who got 15.1? Tyler Thompson, I think, got 15.1.
So do you tell it you want to do 100 meters and it beeps? Yep. Okay, so when you hit the finish line?
Yeah, it starts at 100 and it doesn't start until you actually start moving it.
Okay.
And it counts it down.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. That's how you do like any set distance. Like you start at that distance and it counts. It brings it down.
So do you think you could beat 14.9 on your record?
I've been trying. I haven't got past it yet. That's my best time yet. And
Like-
I've gotten a lot of like 15.1s.
Okay. So, I mean, it's just like that is like you are hitting the ceiling there. Like it's not like
That's-
one's 15.9 and then one's.
I mean, I guess I've only done it 3 training sessions.
yeah, but
but,
it's a tight pattern.
It's always like my first one's always the slowest because I always do one like I'm like, oh, this is kind of a sprint, but I'm still like kind of easing into it. And then usually that next one I get it down pretty close, and then by the third one I have like I'm like it just takes like a couple times to be like, no, this is a sprint.
Yeah.
Like to just like get your body to be like, no, I'm going as hard as possible.
And they're
and
they're not taxing enough that you can do them multiple.
you can
It's
do
not
them
a big
within
deal.
like a few minutes.
Oh,
from
you
each
can.
other.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Like,
Okay.
well, I don't know, maybe 5 to be.
It's not like running a 100-meter dash where you couldn't just do another one.
No, it's not like that.
Yeah, okay.
Which is funny because it's the
I mean, it's
you know,
roughly
it's the same amount of time.
It's actually longer, but
right.
but like,
But it's just
by that metric, you wouldn't do a 200 and then fire off a 200 shortly after that either. You know,
right. But rowing
maybe that means you're not trying hard
running.
enough. Then.
Well, it is the funny thing because you are trying as hard as you possibly can, but there also is a little bit of gaming it too. I think I don't know if it's gaming it, but like just really ripping. Like if you mess up the first. It's such a short amount of time and
Yeah.
you're dealing with like fractions of a second that a mess up on one pull screws up your time.
Wasn't there a clip of Brian Shaw doing 100, or was it just doing
Brian Shaw at the time he set the record at 12.8 seconds.
Oh, that is an actual record.
But no, it's not anymore. Somebody did 12.7.
Who?
I
know the
got
body
the
type
clip
on
of the
this
guy.
person.
No, not big. Like
Okay, so
that.
it wasn't another strongman type with.
No, but he just gets it returned so fast. I mean
So what's the trick there?
the-
How are they?
the chain is literally snapping when he comes back. Like
So
it's-
why is it doing that?
I don't know because he's able to just move so fast. Like
Huh.
I can't even tell you because you watch it and be like, well, why can't I do that?
Yeah.
And then I'll watch mine even at 14.9, which is pretty fast.
Yeah.
But it just, I look like if you watch it compared to his video, obviously it's the best person at it. But I look
Compare me
like
to the best
I'm like,
person in the world. I'm not as
Right.
good.
but you'd be like, what is this guy stuck in mud? Like, you know, and like a bunch of people in the Discord are getting like 16s, 17s, 18s, which are all, that's trying pretty hard. Like
Yeah.
you got to be moving. But like when you watch that and then you watch the guy that does it in 12.7, it's like, I can't even explain how he's doing it.
Interesting.
It's just so fast at returning it.
Okay.
And like we get, like him and I get there in the same number of pulls. It basically takes me 12
oh,
pulls.
it is. Okay, so that's the same.
Yeah, but he's just like getting back to his next one just ungodly fast. It almost looks like it's sped up, but I mean it's not. But it just
I'll have to look that up and see what that's what that looks
yeah,
like,
it's
actually.
just kind of crazy. But the fun part about that stupid rower test or of these dumb things that I like to cycle in and out is the 5K row sucks. You get done with that and you're like,
20
okay,
minutes
I'm
you're strapping
frickin-
in.
Yeah, I'm just like dead. This, you're like, oh, I'm going to do it again. Actually, the hard part with this is you're like, oh, I want to do it again.
And
I want to
you
do it again.
actually-
I want to
your
do it again.
performance
And
does
eventually it's
go
like,
down.
yeah, it's like, okay, I got to quit doing this, you know, but it's a great warm up. The 100-meter dash on rowers is a sick warm up for lifting. You do like 4 of those and you try and tell me you don't feel like you're ready to squat
you're
or deadlift
pretty
or what.
amped up and you got
Yeah, you're
everything moving.
like, you moved your whole body
Yeah.
really hard, you know, for 50 repetitions, basically, you know, relatively low intensity, of course, but it just, it's a good warm up.
Yeah, I could see that.
That's a fun strength test. So let us know what your 100-meter dash rower, did I say, I guess I would marry the rower and F the Peloton. I do like the Peloton.
Yeah.
I'm a believer. Okay. I saw this question. I do actually, this is an interesting question from Big Buzz. Do you ever make any progress on assistance exercises like lat pull downs as an intermediate?
I actually have been because I've taken them much more seriously. Like that's what I say. Why I think my bench has gone up so much is that I've really, for the first time ever, actually taken them seriously. And
Right.
also Juggernaut does program them in a way that I mean, it's always pretty high volume, but it does work. It eventually does go to lower volume. Drop off some sets and drop the reps a little bit. And over time, I'm like, no, was this really a 4 IR reps in reserve set? Can't even do RIR. Was this really a 4? And like, I start to look at that number after a while and be like, no, that's too easy. Like I have a lot left in the tank there. And that's part of the logging it and actually looking at the numbers after a while. Like, no, there's more to do. So, I think where the question is coming from though is a point of like it is very easy to leave those things stagnant over time.
Yes, most people are.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I went years with barely moving any of them.
It's really hard to do. Juggernaut is probably the biggest thing that help. I've said that multiple times. It's not as big a help on my primary lifts because I'm always tracking those. I'm always trying to progress those. That's where the reason you're at the gym is those right.
Movements. Yeah, is those movements.
It's the accessory ones that makes you be like the 12th week in a row that you're doing 20-pound dumbbell lateral side raises for a set of 15 that you're like, wait a second, why? What? Or like in real life, maybe it's the 150th week in the row that you're doing the exact, real
10th year in a row.
Right. And you're like, wait a second, I've never gotten better than this in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe it just means you need to rotate exercises. Maybe it means
and I think that's actually part of it too, is just rotating them because things do get stale. But
it is really, I think progressing those lifts is a really good indicator that you're doing something right in your training too, like making progress in accessory lifts, because it's very easy not to do that.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, most people that are serious do put in pretty good effort on the main lifts, but I think most people also put in kind of minimal effort on the other ones. And it's just, it is low hanging fruit. Just put a little more effort in or keep the effort up across the entire workout. And you might be surprised.
Yep. Metalhead Fitness. Any talk of some arm wrestling at the Lift Hard Live Easy Classic ever?
It always comes up, but
nope. That I can confidently say that will never happen. Did an arm wrestling tournament before where I saw my wife. I'm told this. I mean, we were probably had the podcast going when this happened, so I'm sure we talked about it in if you're a back catalog listener, you've heard the story. And her humerus snapped in half.
Not your wife. She snapped someone else's.
Yeah, another gym, Big Leah, another gym member. Her humerus bone snapped in half in her arm, and that will forever be enough for me not even just compete in it myself, but not to facilitate the competing of it, because professionals are trained to do it, or, people that dedicated amateurs are trained to do it. When you get a bunch of just strong guys at the gym that don't arm wrestle and just want to ripping, someone gets hurt every time. At the very least, they get tendonitis in their elbow, and then they can't like bench anymore for half a year. And I'm like, no, that's counterproductive for the mission here, so I'm not going to be a facilitator of it.
Ever since that event took place, not that I ever really tried to arm wrestle people before, but in like the couple of times in my life, that was probably 10 years ago, that there's been a scenario of that. I'm like, nope, I will take no part in this. I've seen what can happen, and I just want nothing to do with it.
I completely abstain from it also, because
the risk to reward is so dumb on that too.
Yes.
Like there's actually no reward here, and it's all risk.
But people that really are into it, they can do it with a lot less risk because they know what they're doing. They train for it. Like that's what they do. Big Chris Hornick is reaching your full lifting potential, just a matter of not getting sick or having a family.
Dude,
that's where I said we were going to get to this. And I'm like, it's a funny way of putting it. I think the short answer is yes. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Not getting sick, not getting hurt, and not having a bunch of other commitments.
I've thought about this a ton, especially over the more recent years. And, people always talk about optimal training, and it's like, well, actually, what's optimal is not having children, like, and also not having a full-time job. I mean, a full-time job is easier to work around, but like not having children, not having obligations is what is optimal for training. And like, look at a lot of the IPF stuff. Some of the top people, just their job is just training. It's like, oh, I wonder how they're pulling that one off. Like,
well, a lot of them are at the age when they just are getting by, like doing this thing.
It's like, wait, you're telling me you're in your 20s and the only thing you have to do is lift and you're really, really good at it? Like, how is, like, of course that's how that, and like,
they
don't get me wrong.
Started with good genetics.
Right,
and they probably
like they have good genetics and a good work ethic and all that. But it's like, you mean the guy that has like 5 kids and works 50 hours a week? He's not a world-class competitor? What? How does that not work? It's like,
right.
Obviously, like it's just, you're like almost trying to go against the laws of physics at that point. But, so that's one thing I've thought a lot about is you can't even talk about optimal really when you have children because there is no optimal anymore. Or if you have a job,
you can do the best you can.
Yeah, you just
like
do the best you can.
Right.
But
and you can still get really, really strong, and you can
absolutely, yeah. It's you decide,
but not as strong
much,
as you would without that.
Yes, yeah. It's on you to decide how much of an excuse you're going to let that be.
Right.
Because it absolutely is a real excuse without a doubt. Assuming you're also going to be. Sometimes I hear people talk like, I work 12 hours a day. I spend 4 hours at the gym 5 days a week, and I do this and this. And I'm like, oh, you mean you don't hang out with your family? Which again is on you to decide.
Right.
I also to me, an important part of my life is like, when I'm done working for the day, I don't want to not see my family. Like being there for my kids is important to me.
Right.
Again, everyone's different. That's for you to decide. But it's like, no, you were at school or daycare. I was at work. You kind of go to bed at like 7:30 or 8. That means on a good day, we get like a couple hours together. Yeah. And I think that's important. And if that's not important to you, that's fine. That's for you to decide. But what I was going to say is on the EliteFTS podcast, the Table Talk podcast with Eric Helms, he said something about you're actually with most people, you're not training for optimal, you're training for time. And that's the truth. Like, optimal probably would be spending 4+ hours in the gym, having a ton of recovery time, maybe getting an intra-workout meal in and really hitting those accessories super hard. And he's like, but most people, that's actually not what you're training for. You're training for, I have an hour and a half. I have 90 minutes a few times a week with you. What can we accomplish in 90 minutes? Yeah. And that's not optimal, but you are training for the time constraints. And that's what most training really does consist of. And I think once you realize that, things make a little more sense.
I agree. I think about it. You know how some people like, oh, if I won the lottery, I couldn't retire because I have to work, like I have to do that. I'm like, not me. I've got this hobby. Well, first of all, I got my family, no matter what, if I win the lottery that I'm going to spend the time with and do the stuff with. But then also I have this hobby that if I wanted to, you could invest like 6 hours a day into it between the actual like training, meal prepping, and then like recovery stuff. I'm like, I love training in that hobby. I'm like, I can put all kinds of time into that. I just don't because I have a lot of other important obligations, including work.
That's actually really funny because I was just thinking about something very similar to this too, because like a conversation I heard recently revolved around someone retiring early. And I'm like, I guess. So I'm like, oh, let's say I had the means to retire in 10 years. Like, let's say that was an option that was on my radar to be retired before I was 50 even. And I'm like, well, what does that mean? Like, even if things were going great, I just have a hard time believing, let's say Massenomics is still around, that I'm like, whew, finally, I don't have to do that one anymore.
Right.
So it's like, well,
you wouldn't say that.
So then what am I retiring for? So am I retiring from a freelance web design career? And I'm like, even that, a lot of it I don't mind doing.
Right. You would just be more selective of the things
there's definitely
doing.
people that I would, in a perfect world, not work with unless it's a certain price or just certain projects. Maybe not even the people. There's just certain projects like I don't really want to do that. But, at a certain time when you're trying to collect money, you say yes to more things. But
what if it's not just you could retire early, but like $500 million fell in your lap?
Well, okay.
Then are you going to do
a different story?
Like that's a different thought experiment. I guess,
that actually is. Yes. That's
because then you have so much money you can just you be like, well, me and my family are gonna travel the world all the time, and so that's a different thought. That's a different thing.
Yeah.
But it's more that's a different thought if you just say retire early because you're set in a way that you're like, no, I'm pretty good. Like,
I can live financially responsible for my remaining years and just not work. And I'm like, I don't know. That seems like a not very fulfilling lifestyle. This rush.
In that case, I would still want to do Massenomics, but and if I had a freelance business, I'd probably still want to do that. But what I would not have a second thought about is not working for the man.
Right.
Like,
going to an office every day.
See ya.
I guess actually I said bye to that so long ago. What am
I? Right.
So
because that's the thing that people say that they wouldn't be able to retire from that. And I'm like, really?
Yeah,
what if
that's
this,
insane to
like,
think
you don't
that
have
way.
anything else like you like doing more than this?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, your life just sucks.
I forget. Yes, I'm so far removed from that sometimes I forget that. Yes, people do have that bullshit that they have to. Oh, you mean
Like,
I
you
don't
don't
have to
have
commute to
anything
work
that
every
you'd rather
day
do than
and
this.
sit through
Yeah.
meetings and have 20 different bosses and managers tell me what to do? What, you
Listen
give that
about
up?
do 3 meetings about conducting performance reviews and then conducting your performance reviews, getting performance reviews, and go through the cycle, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's that time of year again. The 3-month-long performance reviews. That's just one example of like the.
It's so funny because I'm so far removed from it that I do forget that. Yes, there is. There is that hellscape.
But like, imagine someone saying that they couldn't
dedicated
retire
to the
from that.
game, man.
I just so
They need
desperately
me
want to
here.
go like make someone else money.
I think they really need me here.
Doing stuff for yourself, self-employed or anything like that, completely different. I've always felt like that. It's just so much different.
It 100% is. Like, you can just put up with way more crap because you're like, yeah, this is self-inflicted.
It's for me.
I made the choice to be here, not someone didn't tell me this is what I got to do and I got to hate every second of it.
That being said, for a lot of people, there's a big significant importance of having a job. I'm not telling people to quit their job. I have a job where I work for the man, and it's a really good trade-off for me. But the situation that arises and I didn't need that for any reason, I would have no hesitation to be like, no, get the heck out of here. I mean, I'm responsible and I need it for a lot of things, so I'm going to continue to go there, and it's do it because it's a reasonable trade-off. But
you're right.
Big Jenny, how much weight before the metal plate rips off the horse stall mat gripper? So the Minnesota Department of Lifter Safety have put it to the highest test so far. I think it was Diet Me and Stapler did a Eiffel Tower tandem lift where they're facing each other of 300 pounds.
Really? And it held up.
Yeah.
Wow.
300 pounds.
Okay.
I think Jake has used the handles at like around 250 some pounds, and Paul and Bryce did a 260 pounds. So I guess over 300 pounds, it would probably be like, it needs to be like a certain amount of weight and like some jerking forces, probably.
Some aggressive.
Not just a gradual pull.
Which it's harder to do the heavier it gets.
Yeah. So it's held up quite well as far as that goes. I haven't seen any.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Tearing of the rubber, I guess. That's what's going to eventually give is those bolts that are drilled through the rubber, that those would eventually it would take a lot though. You think about a 3/4 inch horse stall mat. So that's not the limiting factor on the grippers. On the gripper though, the leaderboard has really taken off.
I'm
in
excited
the last
to give
week.
mine another go here. I haven't tried it since that one day at the gym.
Yeah, you're going to need to try
I'm
it
seeing
again
some of the
because
numbers, and it's my competitiveness is not happy about it right now. So
there's about 30 to 40 on each list right now. I do think we're going to have to separate out the women's into a separate list at some point, because we've gotten a lot of women going on the list. Also, there's now women pulling over 100 pounds. Generally, I think is leading women with 103 pounds on the two-handed
really
lift.
impressive.
Yeah. Still, though, just maybe it's worth marking who's at the top each time we review this throughout the weeks. Big Tom still has the heaviest single hand at 78.5 and the heaviest double hand lift at 160.5. Nobody has managed to come very close to him.
Who would have thought that the ringer is just right there in Massenomics gym this whole time?
I'm not that shocked by it still, but I'm really
I know you're
curious.
not, but everyone else would be like,
Right.
wow, this guy? Who is this guy? I don't even know him.
I'm really curious to see who's the single handle happens, I believe, sooner, because there's a ton of people in that 70 some range. Like someone's going to get up over 80. Someone will get up, break him on the double hand too, but I'm just curious to see when that's going to be, who it's going to be. And then also I'm going to be able to motivate him to, he's only ever attempted it once.
I know. That's also the crazy part is a lot of these people are putting a lot of work and effort, and Tom is like, hey, you know what? The end of your workout here, why don't you just come try this quick? You know?
Yes.
Like,
I basically
okay,
made
guess.
him do it. Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of fun happening and a lot of people like submitting and then trying again and moving up the leaderboard, and like so many people jockeying. It's like, oh, you're in the top 10. And then like later that day, it's like, you're not in the top 10 anymore just because of the numbers that keep coming in. So get yourself a horse stall mat gripper and get in on that. Just a couple last questions. Jake from State Farm, any word on the Table Talk episode?
The
Not
joke
yet.
that I put, actually, this isn't a joke, but the thing I said in the Discord a long time ago was when we were leaving and we asked Dave, hey, when's this going to be on? And he goes, they usually put the good ones quicker, so probably pretty soon. And that was like 4 months ago. So
Yeah.
I don't take offense to it, though, because I've also seen ones that I consider the good ones. And I know
Well,
they
like
were,
Dan Green.
they
came
were
out
recorded a
months and
long
months
time
later.
ago. So they
Yeah.
must just actually have an enormous back catalog.
I think they do. And I think he didn't really know. Like
Yeah.
the short answer was he didn't know when it was going to come out, or might not even be, he might not be the one deciding even. I don't know. So I'm guessing we'll get a little bit of a heads up when it's coming. Maybe not. Maybe it'll just be posted and be like, hey, did you see the Table Talk episode's out? She'll probably shoot us an email. They have pretty good communication. So we'll probably know about a couple days before it happens, I would guess. I kind of forget about it.
Oh, I do too at this point.
I'm like, oh, wait, people haven't heard that. Like it's a conversation we had so long ago. It's going to be fun to watch it.
It's going to be pretty fresh
because I don't remember
I hear it. Yeah, like it's.
I mean, what did we talk about actually? Like, what were our central themes?
I think we talked a lot about, not a lot, but we talked a decent amount about home gyms and like our trip that we're going on, and like there was a decent amount of home gym talk actually in it.
Yeah,
I think we spent a decent amount of time on the act of building your home gym versus lifting in your home gym, you know, and not getting that. Keeping the priorities straight there.
Right. Okay. Last question here. I was just going to review the question list to see if anyone brought any last minute ones that we want to add to it, but I think we're pretty good. Also, we've been going for over 2 hours. So Big Keith wants to know, what is the Crew Falls Gym going to be this year? If you stuck around for over 2 hours, you get the exciting first announcement. It has been confirmed. The Crew Falls Gym will be, drum roll please,
lifting and drinking is all I know.
We are going back to Los Campeones for year 2. That's confirmed. We are going there.
They
for
welcomed
sure.
us back with arms wide open.
They welcomed us back. He was very excited for it, to have us back there. And we had other options. We could have gone back to Liberty Barbell, which worked really well in year 1. There's a couple other gyms in Crew Falls that could have worked as well, but Los is so big and diverse in terms of their equipment. We just thought it worked so well.
A bunch of strongman stuff there too. A bunch
of strongman, a bunch of powerlifting, a bunch of bodybuilding, a bunch of machines, separate rooms. It just, for the number of people that we predict are coming back again, it just works so well.
Yeah, like there could be over 50 people pretty easily at this thing. I mean, it was damn near 50 people last year, and it's looking like it could be bigger this year. So
we absolutely have to sing Creed together as a group again.
The Massenomics Boys Choir.
Yeah. It'd almost be funny to do a staged Instagram reel where it's like when the whole gym breaks out into Creed and we have like all 50 people just like pretending to lift, and then like it comes on and everyone slowly comes together to sing Creed.
Could be something there.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going back to Los Campeones.
Sweet.
Should be exciting.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know it.
Yeah, it's completely.
I mean, we had mentioned it, but I didn't have the confirmation yet.
Yeah, we got the confirmation today that he's all on board, and he's like, let me know anything I can do. It was great last year. I was also slightly concerned. He'd be like, no, you idiots.
You didn't get the picture.
Yeah. Be like, for the love of God, do not come back. Yeah, that's it. That's Q&A. We answered all the Q&As.
Sweet. It was a good one.
And we'll have to decide what the title topic's going to be.
I know. That's the worst part of this whole thing.
We did. The questions are all written down here. That we talked
they
about,
are.
Though.
Okay. Well, then that makes it a lot easier.
I won't complete out this task now so that we can review. We can review this
just
and see what pops
picturing
out.
me editing this Sunday morning, scrubbing through, being like, oh, one good question. Where is it?
I think this is it. Episode 492. What side of the upright should the numbers go on?
Episode 492. The worst gauge of strength. Which is kind of a funny title, actually.
Yes.
The episode or the movement for the worst gauge of strength.
Episode 492. What is Tommy's least favorite font?
yeah. People will love that one.
Comic Sans and all the reasons not to use it.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you did go on a trip.
Yeah, I did go on a trip to Portland.
So have you ever been to Portland before?
I've never been to Portland.
Have you been to the Pacific Northwest?
I
have.
have.
You been
It
to
was
Washington or Idaho?
Yeah, it was just a really quick trip. Actually, the same friend used to live in Spokane, and so I was out there, and it was kind of almost a Massenomics style trip. I was there for like a day, and then we actually drove all the way to Seattle, and I was in Seattle for like a day. Super quick though, didn't get to do a ton of stuff, and that's my only experience in that area. So to go to Portland, never been there. It was.
Did you fly into the Portland airport?
We did fly into the Portland airport. I have flown in the carpet. Yes, I have flown into the Portland airport before on my way to Hawaii. So the carpet novelty had already been, I'd seen that. But a couple things that stood out. Portland feels like a much smaller city than in my opinion, Minneapolis feels like a big city. When you're downtown Minneapolis, it feels big.
Yeah.
Like downtown Portland does not feel like that. It just kind of feels like a small city wherever you're at in it. A couple things. If I were to describe the bar scene in Portland to you, Tanner, I would say this. Picture Schwannies, your favorite, local
Say
watering
less.
hole.
Just tell me you're going to stop there.
That's it. It's just kind of a bar that's actually tucked into a neighborhood. There's literally houses next door and across the street from it. So picture that. And then now on that street, picture like 2 or 3 more Schwannies. And then now just picture that street goes for like 20 blocks. And that's what Portland is. Yeah, it's really weird. Like it straight up just is that. It's just all of the restaurants and bars we went to, pretty much all of them had a house that was either directly across the street from it or touching it on both sides. And nothing's new. Downtown, I guess there's newer stuff. But and the other thing is like, I don't know, is this a restaurant or a house that turned into a restaurant? I can't even tell. And so that's cool. Like it's just a very different scene as far as that goes. Trying to think of what else. So my buddy has a boat, and there's a river that goes to the middle of Portland, and we got to ride up and down the river. Pretty crazy because you're literally going through the city on this river, and you can take it one way where you like can see the whole city and everything, or you can take it the other direction where you go more out in the country, you could say, and you get like it feels a little bit like West River. You get like giant cliffs with pine trees on them. And then at the same time, there's houses all along the river too. So that was a cool experience. Probably should have wrote some of the stuff down so I would remember.
Did you see any Portland trip? Did you see Greg Oden? He follows Massenomics on Instagram for some reason.
I did not see him actually.
The oddest person to follow Massenomics on Instagram. Greg Oden.
About that. We've talked about that.
I think it was a mistake, but he still does.
Had to have been. No, I did not see it. I saw the arena where they play. You can kind of see it from the river actually when we were on there.
Did you see PSU camp? My wife went to PS, Portland State University.
No, didn't see the campus either actually. No. No, didn't see that. I saw Burnside Skate Park. I don't know if you've ever played some Tony Hawk.
Yep.
But
for as little as I know about skating, I am even a little. I mean, that's about how I know that of that name.
Yeah, we went there one night, and every night, like it's just.
Was there a ton of people skating there?
There was, I don't know, there was like 10 cars.
Okay, so it wasn't like
there was like 4 or 5 guys skating around, and the park's all lit up at night. I'm assuming it's just like open 24 hours. But
what about is there a homeless crisis in Portland?
Okay.
Like, that's something I hear about.
That's what's really interesting. So there's encampments everywhere. There's tents everywhere.
Of homeless people.
Like
people. Tent cities.
Yeah, I wouldn't say like sometimes I see pictures of like, when we were in California where we went to like Orange County, you didn't see a single homeless person anywhere there. I would say this, what was weird when we said this multiple times, I don't know if I saw a homeless person, but I saw signs of homeless people. I didn't see any of them. Probably the craziest one is on the river. And I actually had to look this up to see that there are actually news reports about this. There are like homeless pirates where they have either stolen abandoned boats or are living in abandoned boats on the river. And it just looks like someone took an old sailboat and it's like the crappiest, most rundown thing. And there's someone living on there. And for whatever reason, they're not doing anything about it. Pretty insane. That was surprising. There's a few times where we would go to a restaurant or a shop or something, and the outfits people wear. It's Portland. Like it lives up
Right.
to the Portlandia meme. And I think like, oh, if this was on a TV show, I'd be like, okay, like the costume's a little too much. This isn't believable. Tone it down. But it's like, no, there's definitely some people that are like taking their wardrobe and style to like extremes that are funny. A lot of coffee shops, you know, has that whole thing going on.
Could you go to a bar and get like a Miller Lite or a Bud Light?
Yeah.
Or was it required for it to be a very chewy IPA?
No, there's actually it seems like there's way more cocktail places than anything.
Okay, that
you know?
wouldn't have been my.
Yeah, like
that
there was
wouldn't have been
one
my-
place we went to. I think it was called like Angel Eyes or something. And no lie, that cocktail menu might have had 200 drinks on it. Like the largest cocktail menu I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, all of them are super good. You know, it's all like $15 cocktails. Another thing we've talked about, we said this when we went to California, we said we went there. It just seems like food kind of costs the same price anywhere. Like, it's just like, yep, you go a place and it's like, yeah, it's all around like $15-ish.
Right.
You know, as far as.
So
like,
it was like that too.
yeah, like it like you're not going any. Granted, we're not going to like fancy sit down places where I know things are more, but what I would describe as like local eateries and bars and things like that. And it's like, yeah, everything's kind of in that $15 to $20-ish range.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what you're getting. Yeah, I think those would probably be about the main. I mean, it's a cool city. It's a cool place to check out for sure. Oh, I'm actually leaving out one huge place. We did drive west to the coast to what's it called? Like that Haystack Rock.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if you ever see it. It's just like this giant rock that sticks out of the water. It literally looks like a mountain, and it's like 50 yards off of the water. And it's just this one very specific peak. That was really cool. And then just south of that is, I know I'm going to say the name wrong. Let's see. It is, let me get over there. So you go west to the coast, and then it's the highway that runs along the coast. Is it the 101 highway? Yeah, Highway 101 that runs all up and down the west coast, which is like the most scenic highway in the country. And so, yeah, so this rock is at Cannon Beach. Really, really cool. Crazy scenery. So we went to Cannon Beach. Yeah, then it's Haystack Rock. And then if you take Highway 101 south down to Manzanita, there's another beach down there. And it's like this little kind of beach town thing, and we spent a good chunk of the day at Manzanita. And I'm just kind of a sucker for the beach, but it was one of the coolest views ever between these giant, just giant white sand beaches, and then you look off in the distance, and there's these enormous cliffs and like forests, and it's a beach that you don't see like on the East Coast. Like, I mean, obviously it doesn't exist anywhere in Florida. Florida's pretty flat.
Right.
But even when we went to California, there are some cool views in California, but the sheer size of these cliffs that you're driving on, it looks like you're in the woods climbing up some mountain. All of a sudden you come to the scenic overlook and you're like, oh, see that beach down there? It looks like you're in an airplane. It's so far away and down.
Right.
And then you go down the hill and you're on the beach, and it was really, really cool. The water's super cold, so you like swim. You can walk in it and stuff, but swimming would be really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty cool experience getting to see that. So, overall, really good trip. A couple other just random notes on the plane. I watched a couple of movies, Tanner. There was a few.
Has he seen it segment?
We can cross a big one off here. I got Gone in 60 Seconds to watch on the airplane. And
okay, let's talk about Gone in 60 Seconds.
Pretty good movie. I think if I watched it like 10 years
right.
ago, I would be like, no, this is too cheesy because it's just too recent. But now that it's old enough, it's like, well, it's old now. It's about 20, little over 20 years. I think it was like 2000 or 99.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, this actually fits the time period perfectly. Like it fits. Yeah. It was an entertaining movie. It was good. As far as car movies go, I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was a fun movie. So I watched that one on the way there, and then on the way back, because it had been so long since I just had
Eleanor.
Yep.
That was the car.
Yep.
Mustang.
Yep, that's the one. And it had been so long since I had just one good clean watch through of it. I watched Terminator on the way back, and
nice.
Man,
The first one.
Okay. So Terminator 2 is on the list here for.
Yeah. Have you seen Terminator 2?
It's been a very long time.
I think a lot of people think Terminator 2
is like the best one, right?
Is best.
That's what everyone says, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. I'm just getting confused on the movies. I think Terminator 2 is the
That's what I always thought. I always thought everyone said the second one was the best one. But the first one, just a classic, man. It's just it's good. Like it's just very entertaining to watch. It's funny how few lines Arnold actually has in it. But he plays the part well where it's like, no, you are just this lifeless robot that just never stops tracking him down.
Crazy how many few lines he has, but how many of them are like
so
some
iconic.
of the most iconic lines of like the last 50 years in movies.
Yeah, they are. They are. It's good. It's just a cool movie, man. I can see how you watch that in 90 whatever when that came out, and people are like, "Yep, this is the next big thing. Like this is the guy." I can just see how that would change everything
for sure.
Gone in 60 Seconds and Terminator, both.
Those are a couple good. So I guess I didn't ask it with Portland. Do you think you could get strong there?
I was actually I forgot about saying this. It is shocking. We've been a lot of places, but. Man, it does not look like anyone in Portland lifts weights at all. Like no one. Like Pencil Neck City up in there, man. It's here it is. Portland, what's it like the Rose City or something? No, it's the Pencil Neck City, man. It's for like a town that has like Nike there. Like all these people work for Nike, all this stuff.
Right.
Just and maybe it's just people are just into cardio there. Maybe that's all it is. But no one.
Bunch of Pelotoners.
Dude, it's got to be. No one looks like they lift weights in that city at all. Not even a little bit. It's just like no one does. It's crazy.
They're probably hiding some. There's probably some good home gyms there that they're hiding in.
I mean, I would hope there's one somewhere, but yeah, man, I wasn't seeing it when I was out and about.
Oh, my one bit of television update. I just want to mention this before I completely forget about it. I did watch the rehearsal,
season 2, right?
The season 2,
yes,
and. Holy shit!
Was there like 5 times? You're like,
maybe
where the
better
hell?
better not spoil it for people that haven't seen it yet. But I was like, "What is this show even anymore?" Like,
I know, that's what I'm saying. You're like,
and then when it's over, I'm like, "Oh, it's over? What? I don't even understand. Like, what happened?"
Yeah, I know.
Like,
that's the beauty
of
it,
has
right?
got to be. I'm not saying it's the best. It's like the oddest reality show that I think has ever existed. Like the turns that it takes, that I'm like, what is going on here? And then like, what I'm talking about, where it gets to those last couple episodes and you find out what he's doing, and it spans like years in time that I'm like, well, you invested years of your life into this.
What they don't know is I started this 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like what?
And I'm like, is like what I don't even know, like maybe you have an opinion. I'm like, was this even a joke for him at a certain point, or what? Like, what amount of serious was he taking this versus joke? And like, after a while, I'm like, I don't even know if anything about this is funny, but it's very captivating.
But it's the absurdity of it. At a certain point, he goes, there's something like, it's one of the last lines of the whole thing, and this isn't ruining it, but he goes like, is really anybody okay? I guess I'm here, so that proves that I am.
But like some of it, I'm like, I don't even know if it's comedy or just straight up if he's just like turned this into his.
There's so many episodes of the show where you're like, oh, there's like 4 different threads in this one episode that could all be their own shows. Like you could take it to an end where it is a show, and he makes a point. I had an unlimited budget. As long as HBO kept writing checks, like because at a certain point it feels like he's just trying to see how much money he can spend.
Yeah. And I feel like becomes this theme that it didn't start with, like that the whole thing almost like kind of just becomes about his autism too. Yeah. Like it just like evolves into the show that's like
even that
his like denial of his own autism. Like he's kind of joking about it, but yet
it's like, well, or is he that self-aware that he can actually play into it even more?
That's
because at times you're watching him like, I don't know, is he actually falling for these, or does he intentionally know the wrong thing to do?
I think he's acting that. I think it's real, and he's acting it up though too.
Yeah,
I think
But that's just one other little tiny, I mean, not tiny theme, but that's just one of the many themes in the whole thing that are taking place. Like the actors hiring all these actors all the time to do stuff that actually weren't necessary at all.
I'd say people have to watch this show Because I just don't think there's any other show that's like this.
It really is like
way
a
different than
psychological
season 1
experiment than anything.
Yeah, it's way different than season 1 even. For what season 1 was, I thought was kind of like this. This is like
took it
that
to an even
times
bigger
10.
extreme. Yeah, it's one of the craziest experiments in human psychology and sociology as to how people will act in certain situations, very unusual situations, and then how they will also act when they're put in a group setting where there may or may not be cameras and or money involved too. Well, and it's
and he
crazy.
goes on these side projects with like almost like helping like this guy that he's helping date. I'm like, he invested like a year of like
into doing this, helping this guy find a date, and also not really helping him along the way either.
No. The one thing I wanted to mention that I thought was, for whatever reason, out of all the wild things that I thought was so wild, is I think it's a congressman or someone. He's in his office,
dude,
and he's showing him this elaborate video and all this stuff, and he doesn't know.
The congressman doesn't know what he's walking into.
Right. He doesn't know what's going on, but I'm so blown away by how dismissive of the whole thing he was.
That was one
that
of
I'm
my
like,
absolutely.
whoa, that is crazy that like this guy, whether it's a joke or an HBO show or not, you're like, you can see this guy has spent
a lot
so
of
much time and effort in something and like,
to be
I'm
fair, like we won't go into the details here, but so Nathan does get a meeting with a congressman like in his office at wherever the hell they're at.
Washington D.C.
I mean, is
I don't know,
the Capitol building or whatever the hell that building is that they're in. And he does a bit of a bait and switch on him in the way that the congressman thought he was going into a meeting on one thing, and they start it, but Nathan quickly pivots it to a meeting about another thing, which is, it's not like there's no comedy here. Like he's literally switching it to something that is actually of public safety concerns and all this.
Yes.
And he has piles of binders and research data, and the congressman, whoever he was, I was amazed how quickly he just checked out. And then when it's done, Nathan's like, so what do we do here?
Shit.
And the guy literally gets on his phone and doesn't look at him. I'm like, okay, this is the fucked up thing about Congress
that's exactly, I'm like, that was the most messed up
gotten the
thing.
mentality that like, no, actually, you know what? We're the kings and you guys answer to us. None of them have the mentality that we work for you anymore. None of them do. And that guy had it so just blatantly on display of like, you know what? Actually,
I have no idea what political party the guy even was.
I don't either. I have no clue.
It's not even relevant to
it's just the way that
discussion.
Politicians act that they are now.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's unusual in his way of doing that. Like I would guess most politicians would do the same thing. And I'm like,
I've never seen anyone dismiss anyone on anything the way that he did that.
And so
like
and
you
so
can tell he's just a
rudely, too.
professional at it too.
Yes.
And Nathan is also the king of lingering on things and making it awkward.
Yep.
It didn't phase that guy
one bit at all. And I'm like, that just shows like, to be a politician at this day and age, whether you think it's the guy that's on your team or not, you kind of have to be a psychopath because like you have just decided like, nope, I'm kind of above people to a certain extent here.
I didn't pay enough attention to even know who the guy was, but
I can't even remember his name.
What
state he was with, what party. I don't know any of those details.
But
exactly
I do know
what
I took away from
people.
it though, that I'm like, wow, that is like the shit. Like you just have to see it, and I just have hard.
That was
time
one of the
someone
things that stuck with
making
me
it
the
different.
most too, and I'm like, that actually really, really rubs me wrong. Is that you're supposedly a public servant, and someone's bringing up actual public safety concerns to you, and you could not care one bit less about this.
And it was a really, albeit it was part of this show that's kind of a joke. Like the far you get into, you're like, I don't even know what about this is a joke anymore. Like what part of it's supposed to be funny? Like it's like literally the guy has spent years of research and time and all this stuff.
There's never like jokes. There's never punchlines. It's always just like you're laughing at the absurdity of situations because they're taking to an extreme.
Because it's like, so if Johnny Knoxville comes into your office and he's like, hey, I got a boner question for you. You're like, yeah, I'd like kick him out and stuff. But I'm like, that's not what's going on here. You got like a guy that's put more time and effort into this than probably anyone else ever has for like, so that was my biggest thing that I wanted to mention, and I'm glad you noticed that too, because I thought it was literally insane.
That was one of the biggest things that stuck out to me. The other one that, I mean, from an actual comedy standpoint, the whole thing with the Captain Sully thing was so insanely just crazy and hilarious. My wife walked in when they were doing the reenactment of the baby, you know, when the parents were on stilts. And she's like, what is going on here? And I'm like,
that is just overly insane. I don't even know, like, that was an odd turn that I'm like, this is so weird.
That one. And then when he figures out the timing between the, I'm like, that had to have been a moment where he sat around and he's like, wait, does this timing match up? You know, between the song playing and when Sully replied to the radio message, like
that
I
was
want to know
crazy.
How
the amount
long
of research
did it take
and
to
stuff
discover that piece of coincidence, because the theory you're presenting, while it is plausible and totally hilarious, is probably highly unlikely. But and then I like it, like they do the skit, and at the end he's like, "Pilot's code, right?"
Yes. There again, the lengths that he goes to in those last couple episodes, the turn that takes, that I'm like,
I know
I can't spoil. I want to spoil it. I
know.
desperately want to say what happened there, but I can't say it because it would. You just have to. You have to watch it, but I'm like, that was mind blowing to me, like what he did.
And that's the thing, is when you get done with it all, you go, okay, this was like, I don't know, maybe 10 years in the making and 7 episodes of a TV show to get to this point. Like, that's what this was all for. Like, how many actually countless hours, hundreds, if not thousands of people involved over the years to make this whole thing work. And at the end, you're like, and that was it, huh? That was what this was for?
Yeah,
it's
that's
wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wild. Watch the rehearsal. That's a good recommendation. Also, while we're recommending, head over to barefoot.store. You can look sharp, move free. Maybe if you're headed to a Portland trip, you could throw them on, walk down
Manzanita Beach.
You could put on your Ozos, maybe if you want to look sharp. I bet you could fit in there wearing the Bruin Patriot boot. I bet that would be a certain look.
Yeah.
You could throw on a flannel and the Bruin
Probably.
Patriot boot.
That's one thing actually that's funny to me about Portland, is for how counterculture it is. People seem to all gravitate towards a similar thing. You know, there's
a
a certain,
specific counterculture.
Yeah, that's
that everyone's
it's
in on.
counterculture as long as it's a specific counterculture. That's the funny part about it. Yeah, we're all individuals that just happen to all like the same thing.
It's kind of true for a lot of things.
Oh,
it is.
It is. Like, yeah, it's not just Portland. It's not just Portland, but
it's just they have their specific thing.
Yeah. We're all wildly crazy individuals over here that just all happen to arrive at the same conclusion.
But you could be very unique in a pair of barefoot shoes. You could put on the Ursus 2.0 in canvas, for example, and you could take those to. You can go wherever you want. You don't have to be in the Pacific Northwest to wear barefoot shoes. You can wear them anywhere, in most regions. You could be in the Southwest and wear barefoot shoes, couldn't you?
Absolutely.
You could be like Louisiana area and wear barefoot shoes. I think
it can be. Southern tip of Key West.
Yeah, you could be in Canada and wear barefoot shoes, I think. Couldn't you?
Pretty sure they allow it.
Yeah.
I don't think there's
wherever you're going, wherever you're headed, make sure it's in a pair of barefoot shoes.
Wherever you're headed,
barefoot.store.
We're pretty sure it's allowed.
Check to see where they have economic nexus.
There's like nexus laws. That would be the real thing. But this episode is also brought to you by Build Fast Formula. Build Fast Formula. It's just what works. Level up your life with innovative, clinically dosed, and research-backed supplements. I'm a big fan of the 80-20 protein, 80% casein, 20% whey protein. Tastes great. Hits all the macro things you need to keep you feeling good, lifting, or whatever. I don't know how the science behind it works. I just take it and it makes me feel good. That comes in vanilla ice cream, chocolate lava cake, Cinnadoodle, and peanut butter chocolate flavors. Any one of those is great. If you're not sure where to start, chocolate lava cake, great spot. You need some pre-workout, they got your Vaso Blitz. They got your Full Blitz. They got your Blitz 3D. Again, we got anything from a fully loaded pre-workout formula to a dual nitric oxide support system, to one that maybe even combines the two of them into something you never even thought possible. All available in a variety of flavors that also all taste great. If you head on over to buildfastformula.com, you can use code Massenomics and you can save 10% on your next order. Buildfastformula.com, code Massenomics, save you 10%. Thank you, Build Fast Formula.
between a very greasy pre-show that was kind of long and then a longer than normal episode. I don't even know what day it is anymore.
I'm actually just realizing that right now. Yeah, we've been actually talking nonstop for over 3 hours at this point. Yeah.
So let's cut it there. Make sure to become a supporting member. There's a lot of ways you can support us, but become a supporting member, get a certified training facility. Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See you.